And we're live. Roll up, everybody. Gather, come and join. One man went to mow. It is that time again. We are in session. Your presence required, your company required. The live streaming has started. That Oyo guy is on live again. So come join him to spend at least an hour just reminiscing on that space that we call Nigeria. One man went to mow. The eagle has landed.
Only water, where they see ma. Water, only water, where they see ma. Hapa o naido. Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Ilé sọ́díyà kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Chifu Faila ti kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùdódò jàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosonama ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodunke ẹyẹ rẹ̀ ó.
Okay, we get the final rendition of that in a moment, but to the headlines first. So we go to the eastern quarters to start it off. 2023, OHANAEZE pushes for president of Igbo extraction. So the Igbos on bended knees now begging for that space as the drum beats towards 2023 begins to beat louder and louder. Group tasks leaders on equity insist Southeast must produce next Nigerian president. So another headline, the same narrative, a different group, but the same chime. All Nigerians know you are a disgrace to youths as governor of Kogi State. Tinubu support group blast Bello over comments. So of course, in yesterday's session, I brought you the narrative of how Yaya Bello was speaking to the Tinubu camp, saying that Tinubu is now too old for the presidency and he should step aside for his children. So clap back, we expected them to, and clap back they have. All Nigerians know you are a disgrace to youths as Kogi governor. Tinubu support group blast Bello over comments. So we explore that as well. So still, with that, Tinubu support group tackles Bello. So different headline, same narrative. So we might well just pick one of those rather than go through both of them. Seeking jobs abroad isn't an option for young Nigerians. They don't have the right skills. So this is a report now that seems to run contrary to the generally perceived wisdom that Nigerians are highly talented. So quite why this is being posited, we go through that as well. Nigerians in diaspora remit $65.34 billion in 3 years. So $65.34 billion. That in itself, I don't even think that Ghana is budgeting that per over the course of those 3 years even. That is certainly 10 times the size of the Gambian economy or most African economies. But that is just what you and I are sending back home or have sent back home over the last 3 years. So should we now be pointed in these remittances is now the question that we have to explore. Should we direct these remittances to banks that we know are situated within our own geographical space, so that that impact then is localized to our people. So we go through that as well. Plenty to go through. So your presence is all that is required. Introduce yourself if you're new to the session in the comment section. Just let's get to know each other. And if you are new to the sessions, there's a link in the comment section that says StreamYard. If you click on that, then you can come on stream, you can come on screen to interact with the sessions. So to interact with the talking points. So that is how the session usually goes. Unique and peculiar formulae formulated by my good self. This bald-headed or your man speaking to you. So I, the only person that does this in space, unless of course somebody else is now looking to copy what we're doing here. One man went to mow, the eagle has landed.
eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹ̀yẹ ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Odúyẹ̀lá ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosoname ẹ̀yẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodunke ẹ̀yẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbéṣe o.
Ikú kò ní rí wa gbéṣe, ìgbàlà tẹ̀lé. So Ikú kò ní rí wa gbéṣe, as guys I bring you this. 2023, OHANAEZE pushes for president of Igbo extraction. So the politics of 2023 now in full pelt now, and the Igbos now presenting their case. Apex Igbo Social-Cultural Organization OHANAEZE Indigo yesterday, Apex Igbo Social-Cultural Organization OHANAEZE Indigo yesterday appealed to political parties in the country to zone its presidential tickets to the southeast to pave way for a Nigeria president of Igbo extraction in 2023. It lamented that the southeast remains the only zone out of the 6 geopolitical zones that was yet to produce president of the country. The Igbo group said the task of national unity should be one of the core mandates of political parties, saying the continued marginalization of the Southeast in the rotation of the presidency was one of the reasons for the agitation in the zones. National youth leader of OHANAEZE Indigo worldwide, Mr. Damian Okafor, stated this in an interview in Abakaliki, where he said youth groups in the southeast were unhappy with the level of political marginalization of the zone. He said it was time for the political marginalization of the southeast was brought to an end in the interest of the country's peace and unity. He appealed to leaders of political parties to correct the injustice in 2023 by zoning their presidential tickets to the southeast. It is believed that every political party in Nigeria should have the task of national unity as their core mandate, and as such would do everything within their capacity to ensure the oneness of Nigeria. Nigeria as a country is currently challenged with the agitations of secession. Most of the agitations are based on provable points which all of us cannot shy away from. It is already a problem, and all hands must be on deck towards preferring the desired solution. Nigeria has 6 geopolitical zones, and almost all the zones have produced the president except the southeast. This was the same zone that the Nigerian government engaged in a civil war that lasted about 3 years. The region was grossly damaged, and there is urgent need to consider them in the zoning of the 2023 presidential election so that a significant progress can be recorded in the journey of healing the wounds and scars of the Civil War. Other regions should, in the interest of one Nigeria, cede the position of the highest office in the land to the southeast. I hereby call on youths, elders, and women who love this country to prevail on all political parties in the country to zone the position of president to the people of the southeast. One indivisible Nigeria is more than any individual, group, or even political goals. So this is almost a begging letter, really. Essentially, this is how you have to describe this. This is on bended knees stuff. So you are not politicking your way into the space. You are trying to guilt trip and beg your way to the space. Will that work as a strategy, though? Only time will tell. It carries on in the same theme. Group tasks leaders on equity insist Southeast must produce Nigeria's next president. So a different group, the same theme. The Pan-Nigerian President of Igbo Extraction Coalition, PAN-PIAC, a social-political group, has called for peace and harmony amongst Nigerians. The group also called for social justice and equity in national life. In a release, Pampiak insisted on political justice in Nigeria, calling on other regions of the country to support a power shift to Igbo land in 2023. So another begging letter. The group's release was jointly signed by the convener Mazi Chuks Ebigbu and chairman of the Southeast Congress, Chief Kanu, but not Nandi Kanu, of course, Ocheabuto Kanu, this one, and Chief Kanu, and issued to journalists at the end of its congress held in Umuahia, the Abia state capital. So I wonder if that name Kanu is peculiar to Umuahia. Pampiak called on Igbo presidential aspirants to begin to show keen interest in the project and declare their intentions so that other Nigerians will take them seriously. The pro-democracy organization further called on the people of Igbo Nation to show seriousness in the ongoing voters registration exercise being conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to ensure actualization of Nigerian president of Igbo bloc in 2023. According to the release by PAMPIAC, we equally call on all Igbo stakeholders to support PAMPIAC, which is now the rallying point for the project. We vow not to relent until the project is realized. So that is the Igbos play to the presidential seat then. A begging letter from OHANAEZE and this Pampiak essentially wanting to land into space and essentially begging for money. So beggy as a political tool. We explore that. All Nigerians know you are a disgrace to youths as Kogi governor. Tinubu clapping back, or at least his supporters, to Yaya Bello's comments on Tinubu being too old for the presidency. A support group for the national leader of the All Progressive Congress APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has taken a swipe at the governor of Kogi State, Yaya Bello, for asking Tinubu to drop his 2023 presidential ambition. Bello's suggestion attracted the outrage of the Tinubu support group, which said Bello's poor performance as governor was a betrayal of the Not Too Young to Run campaign. This was contained in a statement titled, "Your failure in governance has betrayed the Not Too Young to Run campaign," TSG replies Yaya Bello, which was signed by Director General of TSG, Umar Ibrahim, in Abuja on Sunday. The statement reads, "All Nigerians can attest to the fact that Governor Bello of Kogi State is a disgrace to the Not Too Young to Run campaign. How do we commit a great nation such as Nigeria to a so-called youthful governor who was given an opportunity to lead the state and messed things up? It is on record that you, Governor Bello, remains the governor with the highest number of unpaid salaries and non-performance, despite the huge sums of money of both internal and federally generated revenues. We advise that you channel all your efforts into begging and praying for the forgiveness for all the sufferings you have inflicted on the good people of Kogi State rather than eyeing the presidency. The group described Tinubu as the most qualified and competent candidate to succeed Buhari. The outrage trailed a recent interview Bello had with correspondents in which he advised Tinubu to allow a youth to emerge as president. Bello said the former Lagos State governor should take a back seat and allow youths he has groomed to rule the country. He, however, noted that though the APC national leader has the right to contest in 2023, he should step back and allow the youths. Bello stressed that Nigeria is not a banana republic that one or two persons can see as their personal properties. He was quoted as saying, Senator Tinubu is one of our leaders and I respect him so much. He has played a very significant role in Nigeria's democracy and has built a lot of people. He has paid his dues. And with all respect, as a son to him, my simple advice is that it is time for him to allow his children to take over the mantle of leadership and do it to the glory of God and his admiration. He should see that those children he raised are now doing well. Let him see how we manage this country in his lifetime. However, he has the right to run. Nobody is questioning that. Let me tell you that Nigeria is not a banana republic, which a committee of one or two persons will see as a personal estate or property. Meanwhile, Tinubu has yet to openly declare his intention to succeed President Muhammadu Buhari as president of Nigeria. His media aide, Tunde Rahman, denied claims that Tinubu opened a campaign office in Abuja, though there have been campaign posters in some states of the country. Governor Bello, on his part, is also believed to be nursing a 2023 presidential ambition. So the back and forth between Bello and Tinubu, so that is that space. So we ignore the second headline on that because that essentially covers what that narrative has to tell. We go on to this one instead that speaks now, contrary to what has long been held as the popular belief that Nigerians are highly skilled. Seeking jobs abroad isn't an option for young Nigerians. They don't have the right skills. Nigeria is sitting on a demographic gold mine which could transform the economy. About 60% of Nigeria's 200 million people are under the age of 25, and that number is expected to increase significantly by 2050. Instead of being an asset, the country's burgeoning youth population is becoming an albatross. It poses risks for the economy and social cohesion. Amongst Nigeria's economic challenges, youth unemployment remains the most formidable. The World Bank estimates Nigeria's youth unemployment at 17.7% in 2019, compared with 10% for Africa. Nigeria's youth unemployment rate is double the national rate of unemployment. Official statistics on unemployment in Nigeria often underestimate the severity of the problem. For example, they don't account for the fact that over 80% of Nigerians with primary education or more who are regarded as employed are grossly underemployed in low productivity informal sector work. Activities in this sector typically consist of street hawking, petty trading, tailoring, shoe mending, domestic work, roadside food vending, transportation, and subsistence agriculture. The federal and state governments have introduced various measures to address youth unemployment. These include social investment programs that encourage youth entrepreneurship and support for micro, small, and medium sized enterprises. Others are skills development programs, direct labor for public work projects, loans for agriculture, and various initiatives to spur entrepreneurship. Despite all these efforts, 65 million young Nigerians, or 1 in 3, are expected to be unemployed in the next 4 years. In a recent report, the World Bank proposed strategies for addressing youth unemployment in Nigeria. One is the creation of safe and legal labor migration pathways for Nigerians to seek job opportunities in other countries. This will be in contrast with the current illegal and perilous migration patterns. The proposal is laudable as there are acute shortages of skilled workers in some developed countries. The United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom have introduced special visas for attracting skilled workers from other countries. Workers from Asia, especially India, have benefited from these opportunities. The World Bank proposes that countries of destination looking for the World Bank proposes that countries of destination looking to fill labor shortages provide high quality and industry relevant training to potential migrants and non-migrants in Nigeria. This, it argued, would increase the global stock of workers and contribute to a brain gain. The onus would need to be on the companies. This is because many young Nigerians lack the 21st century skills desired by global corporations. So this is now the point that we were looking to land on. So it says the onus needs to be on companies. So essentially, companies have to train Nigerians because young Nigerians lack 21st century skills desired by global corporations. So 24th century skills is what they're saying is lacking within the Nigerian space. So what are those? Now, 21st century skills are essentially no more than IT skills because any other set of skills outside of IT skills are traditional skills. Lawyers are traditional skills, doctors are traditional skills, accountants, engineers are traditional skills. These are not skills that are peculiar to the 21st century. Skills that are peculiar to the 21st century are essentially IT skills. So this is the gap being identified. The onus needs to be on companies. This is because many young Nigerians lack 21st century skills desired by global corporations. This proposal is theoretically sound, but it poses a number of questions. What is missing? Innovative and innovative and disruptive technologies have become salient components of industrialized economies. Robotics, 3D printing, precision machining, data analytics, bioinformatics, digital imaging, design, and animation all feature prominently. Not many Nigerians possess these frontier skills. So essentially, the skills that I was speaking to just now, and I had not even read this ahead, by the way. This lack of skills is not only a Nigerian problem, it is pervasive across Africa. This explains it why much of labor migration, about 80% in Africa, is intra-regional rather than international. It consists mainly of unskilled workers. Global corporations are looking for workers with productive capacities that can be used in manufacturing, science, and technology intensive sectors, as well as information technology. The World Bank proposed the World Bank proposal is based on the old paradigm of competition in which labor abundance is a major driver of competitive advantage. But this is no longer the case as technology, knowledge, innovation, and skills have replaced labor as the major pillars of competition. The World Economic Forum suggests that 85 million jobs worldwide will be at risk because the current job holder lack relevant skills. Thus, attempts at addressing youth unemployment in Nigeria should focus on raising the skills and productivity capacity of young Nigerians. Local opportunities. In addition to exploring opportunities in the global labor space, the World Bank has suggested the creation of domestic job opportunities. This may be accomplished if Nigeria is able to attract employment intensive global corporations. But Nigeria is not very attractive to global value chains and foreign investors. Foreign direct investment in the country has been declining inextricably from 6% of the GDP in the mid 90s to 0.5% in 2019. Why do global ITs and pharmaceutical corporations prefer to locate in India and not Nigeria? Why does Apple manufacture iPhone and iPads in Taiwan? Why do global textile corporations prefer Vietnam, China, and the Philippines? Why has Malaysia and not Nigeria become a major hub for solar equipment manufacturing? The answer is simple. Their young people possess a critical mass of needed scientific and technical skills. The way out, creating safe and legal pathways for the migration of young Nigerians will only be effective if the following measures are taken. First, the ongoing deindustrialization of the Nigerian economy must be reversed. Over the past 4 decades, there has been a steady decline in manufacturing value added in Nigeria from over 20% of GDP in the early 80s to less than 10% in 2019. As a result, many Nigerians have not had the opportunity to acquire industrial, technological, and innovative capacities. Another effect of deindustrialization is that it has foreclosed opportunities for students in Nigeria's tertiary institutions to apply their classroom learning in industrial contexts. In a survey of companies in Nigeria, 81% of them said they had difficulty finding workers with relevant skills. It is also a reason why global corporations do not find Nigeria an attractive location. On and on it goes, but you get the thrust of it. So now, Nigerians in diaspora remit $65.34 billion in 3 years. So eye-popping amount of money. A lot of people have been saying that it is the remittances from abroad that is essentially sustaining that economy, and those remittances from abroad, we are now adding some figures to it. We are now getting some figures to it. Nigerians in diaspora remit $65.34 billion in 3 years. The Nigerian diaspora population remitted $65.34 billion in 3 years to boost economic activities in the country. Let me start that entirely all over again. The Nigerian diaspora population remitted $65.34 billion in 3 years to boost the economic activities in the country. Data obtained from the World Bank has shown. According to the World Bank data, in 2018, the Nigerian diaspora remittance was $24.31 billion. In 2019, it dropped to $23.81 billion. And in 2020, it fell again to $17.21 billion. Remittance inflow made up 4% of Nigeria's gross domestic product in 2020. According to the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, Nigeria had a diaspora population of 1.7 million as of 2020. This puts the average remittance per Nigerian abroad based on 2020 diaspora population at point four at $38,428.15 across the 3 years. So that's just an averaging, as you know. Since 2008, India held the trophy for the largest recipient of their diaspora remittances as it reaps from its large pool of technical experts who are sought after abroad. However, in the years under review, on per person average, Nigeria received more remittances than India and Bangladesh, another top destination of diaspora remittances. So just to clarify that, so it's saying in the years under review, so that's the last 3 years, Nigeria, on average per person, received more remittances than India and Bangladesh. So that's not to say that the sums that were sent by Nigerians outdid India and Bangladesh. So they are saying on average, because of course they are saying 1.7 million Nigerians are in diaspora. I'm sure that's just that figure is in error because the average Nigerian abroad is there illegally and it's not recorded on the books. But let's go with those figures. So they're saying that so the average of that is what they're saying is more than the average of the Indians who will be in the tens of millions abroad, or the Bangladeshis who will be in the tens of millions abroad. So it's an averaging down of that economic space. In 2020, India had a diaspora. Here we go. In 2020, India had a diaspora population of 17.9 million people and received $245 billion in remittances in the 3 years under review. While India's remittance inflow overshadowed Nigeria's, its remittance per diaspora population was $13,702. Bangladesh has a diaspora population of 7.4 million people in 2020. It had a total remittance of $55.68 billion from 2018 to 2020. This puts the country's remittance per diaspora population at $7,524. Diaspora remittance made up a larger share of Bangladesh's GDP than any of the other two nations. Remittances as a share of GDP in 2020 was 4% in Nigeria, 3.1% in India, and 6.6% for Bangladesh. There are possibilities, however, that the Nigerian diaspora population is larger than what has been. Well, this is what I was saying. There are possibilities, however, that the Nigerian diaspora population is large than what has been officially captured. The senior special assistant to the president on foreign affairs and diaspora, Mrs. Abike Dabiri Arewa, had in 2017 said there are about 15 million Nigerians in various parts of the world. According to the International Monetary Fund, remittances are household incomes from foreign economies arising mainly from the temporary or permanent movement of people to those economies. Remittances include cash and non-cash items that flow through formal channels such as electronic wire or through informal channels such as money or goods carried across borders. The IMF stated that remittances help poorer recipients meet basic needs, fund cash and non-cash investments, finance education, foster new businesses, service debt, and essentially drive economic growth. The federal government signed the Nigerian in Diaspora Commission Establishment Bill into law in July 2017 after recognizing the strategic importance of Nigerians in diaspora. The law established the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, which was set up to engage and utilize the human capital, and material resources of this demography in the socio-economic, cultural, and political development of Nigeria. Abike Dabiri Arewa was appointed as the first chairman and chief executive officer of the commission. In 2019, the federal government went a step further by recognizing July the 25th of every year as National Diaspora Day. There is also another possibility that the remittances to Nigeria are much higher than have been officially captured. This is because many Nigerians abroad explore unofficial ways of sending money home in order to maximize unofficial exchange rates. To increase official channels of Nigeria's remittances, the central bank had recently rolled out a number of measures in the face of dwindling foreign exchange from other sources. In March, the Apex Bank introduced the Naira for Dollar policy as a means to increase the country's foreign exchange inflow. The CBN introduced a rebate of 5 naira for every dollar of funds remitted to Nigeria through international money transfer organizations, saying increased remittances can only be accomplished if the remittance infrastructures improve and if the right policies are put in place. The CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, at the time had said, furthermore, in an effort to reduce the cost burden of remitting funds to Nigeria by working Nigerians in diaspora, the Central Bank of Nigeria has introduced a rebate of 5 naira for every dollar of fund remitted to Nigeria through IMTOs licensed by the central bank. This rebate will be provided to bank accounts of beneficiaries following receipt of remittance inflow. We believe this new measure will help to make the process of sending remittances through formal bank channels cheaper and more convenient for Nigerians in diaspora. PwC had said the policy may increase the country's foreign remittances to 34.89 billion by 2023. Only twice only twice has yearly total remittance inflow of Nigeria has only fallen below $20 million since 2011, in 2016 and in 2020. In 2016, Nigeria recorded 19.7 billion as official remittance. In 2017, the Debt Management Office issued a 300 million diaspora bond, and proceeds were used to finance part of the deficit in the 2017 Appropriation Act. So on and on it goes. Okay, I think I'll just leave it there. I think we get the thrust of it, but it's too long-winded to give you the full flavor of. So, Charles, we see you. UK, we see you. Adale Coco, we see you. I think UK has been trying to come in just too many times. So let's go to UK first. UK, do we have you? Hello, UK. I don't know which one we have for UK now. It's logged in so many times. Oh, okay. UK, can you hear us?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
here.
Oh, okay. Okay, I think that's the one. So let me remove the rest of them. So can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, let me remove this one. Oh, okay. So to you then, UK, do you want to start with the remittances then? We're starting to get some figures to it. These are official figures, of course, so you can multiply that by 3 because essentially Nigerians tend to do things through unofficial channels, as they said, to maximize the impact. $65.34 billion in 3 years. UK, are you the one responsible for all this money? Is this house that you are trying to build in the village? $65.34 billion. What are you making of that?
Well, I'm sometimes involved, but sometimes when I
Uh,
see the back channel, I use the back channel. I
I-
don't use. use the mainstream channel. Yeah.
Mm.
So
So,
that money is huge. It's huge
mm,
because I mean
mm,
a lot of Nigerians are all over the world.
mm,
So and Nigeria once they travel, their first thing is to think about their family. You know,
mm,
to start building or to start investing.
mm,
Mm. So because of that, you notice that there will be a huge sum of money coming down to that country. You know.
mm.
Yes.
There's a lot of underestimation in that article right across the board. They are putting the amount of Nigerians in diaspora in as 1.7 million. And I would say that even in America alone, the Nigerians in America alone brought probably 5 million. In the UK, almost a million. So those figures are out of scale. And that's 65 point whatever billion as well. Those are just figures that they are able to capture as wire money. They are not able to capture that $1,000 that you give to somebody to give to your auntie, your mommy, your friend. So all the cash that just comes in paper form. So an underestimation right across the board, I would say.
Yes, you are right. You are right. They do underestimate it because because of Nigerians, they stop visa lottery now because there are
Mm,
too many Nigerians in US here.
mm,
Nigeria doesn't participate in visa lottery no more. I think
mm,
almost like 3 years or 4 years they ban Nigeria.
mm,
We don't do visa lottery no more. So you are right because even the illegal people that came through in illegal means, they are
mm,
not being captured. You know,
mm.
so you are right. We are being in the estimate. And again, that money it should be 3 times or even more. Yes.
Yes, I was just going to ask you what will be your guesstimation as the actual figures of Nigerians, let's just say in the United States, and how much do you think Nigerians are just using these figures that we're hearing officially as a benchmark? How much do you actually think Nigerians are remitting back home?
So for me, I think it is more than let's say you can say 150 billion or 150 billion.
I,
You
I
know.
would, I would not disagree, because if
Mm.
those are the official figures, then you
Yes.
can multiply it by three. So quite stunning stuff. Let me quickly take you then to this space where they're saying Nigerians are seeking. It says seeking jobs abroad. Let me actually seeking jobs abroad isn't an option for young Nigerians. They don't have the right skills. So what are you making of that? Because it was quite detailed in how they have arrived at that assertion. So what are you making of that? That
Yeah.
Nigerians don't have the skills relevant to contemporary times.
Yes, because one, the education is below
Mm,
it's substandard. And again, another point is that they don't invest in education. There's no research for anything. People are, even if you go to a high institution, people are still sitting on the floor to write exams. Even some people are still staying outside to write exams. No
mm,
computer, nothing. I mean, there's
mm,
nothing to show that they are going to school. Even the students, they depend on in Expo. Even to
mm,
write the GP or JAM, everything is
mm,
Expo. So
mm,
we don't, nobody trusts them no more. You know.
mm. And more importantly, the education system in Nigeria is not geared towards contemporary times. Because what this article is saying that is that the need now of the labor market space is a knowledge-driven need. It's no longer about traditional works. It's about a knowledge-driven, which is essentially an IT-based need. And this is what India was quick to identify, and they've trained their people up in IT. So if you want to build some app or do XYZ IT, you just go online and commission somebody in India. You can stay in your house in Nigeria, wherever, and do that. But
Yes,
Nigerians they are not investing in the knowledge needs of contemporary times. The education system in Nigeria is not
yes,
investing in
because
that space.
Nigerian education is copy and paste. My,
Mm,
my dad is a professor.
mm,
He do visit Nigeria. Anytime he goes there, he always complains that the place is too backward for him. You know.
mm,
So I mean, for him going there to see it, I mean, it is definitely. the place is there. It's not it's substandard, you know.
So now the politics of 2023 in Charles, Charles behave. Uh, so the politics of 2023 now in full pelt. Yaya Bello and Tinubu hammer and thong, of course, both vying for the same space. Yaya Bello trying to use Tinubu's age against him, and Tinubu trying to use Yaya Bello's incompetence against him. So the politics now in full flow. What are you making of this back and forth between Tinubu and
Well,
Yaya Bello?
Tinubu, yeah, quite sure. I mean, he's old and he's ill.
Hmm.
I would not want him to run because he cannot. I mean, he cannot handle the pressure and the
Hmm.
tension in the country. So it's better that he look for somebody. I mean, if there will be 2023 election, based on what is going on in Nigeria, you know. So the Yaya Bello
Hmm.
saying that, I mean, he's right, but the Yaya Bello of a person, I mean, he's full of corruption too. He cannot lead the country because he doesn't have any credibility, you know.
Hmm. So what will be your choice there, Yaya Bello or Tinubu? Or is it a plague on both their houses?
My cho-
One
my my, cho-
corruption versus corruption.
my choice would be Yoruba nation, Biafra
Bia-
nation,
Biafra
Arewa
nation.
nation,
Yes.
Middle Belt nation, you know.
You, you know what they call that? They call that otoge. Enough is enough. So it's otoge. So if that is your choice, then you are not in support of OHANAEZE as they push for president of Igbo extraction 2023. OHANAEZE pushes for president of Igbo extraction, and they make a very though pleading but yet compelling plea towards that area. A second group joins them in that plea. So that now the language of the politics from the southeast. So they are throwing their hat into the ring now, claiming that they have not had the presidency. So what are you making of
Well,
Ohanese's
for me,
positioning? Yeah.
since I know something as a human being, I never see any group of people begging for to be a leader. You have to fight for it, you
Mm.
know. For them coming out to look for presidency, I mean, shame on them, because that's not the way to go. Because if the country is a good country, everybody will come out and vie for the position, you know.
It's almost as though they are trying to make people feel guilty to hand it to them, which I feel is a poor strategy. You are saying that, oh, you have not had it before, and everybody else has had it. That is part of an argument, but that cannot be the central thrust of your push towards that space. So you can have that as a side dish, but you have to have a bigger, more compelling campaign towards that space. You cannot just say because you have not had it, therefore people should give it to you. No,
Yes, you see,
I don't think that works. Yeah.
one man, in anything in this life, you have to work for it. You know,
Mm,
you work, you work, you get paid.
mm.
You put in input, then you get in output. You know, garbage in, garbage out. So it doesn't work that way. You know.
All right. Thank you, UK. Good to hear from you. Stay with us just for as long as you can. Let's go to Ajan Lekoko and sound his opinions. Ajan Lekoko, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here, one man. How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you. So these figures now for remittances, quite impressive figures, but UK was even saying this is a gross underestimation. $65.34 billion in 3 years. This is the amount that you alone, Najan Lekoko, have been sending to build that mansion that they are building wherever. Impressive figures, but is it an underestimation, as UK was suggesting? And wrap that with the figures of 1.7 million Nigerians in diaspora and underestimation too. Is this piece actually playing down both angles? Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, the figure is to me, it's an underestimated figure. It's not the right figure. And the number of Nigeria they mentioned too.
1.7 million Nigerians in that. Can you imagine? Even in even in London alone, there are about 2 million of them. Every black person in the UK is a Nigerian. What are they talking about? Eh?
So that
Eh?
that alone is it shows that figure is not right. So
Eh?
I,
What about the ones that are doing swimming pool from Libya to Italy? They didn't count. They are doing swimming pool. It's,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so that figure is gross underestimated figure. So I believe, just like you said, that we will have, 3 times of that figure should be considered as the right figure. So you see, by this figure alone, we it will have you see, we are capable enough to bail out that country out of the economic problem. That
Do you think we should be more strategic now that we're seeing now how much we're pushing into that economy? And when I'm saying we should be strategic, do you think we should find ways to guide those monies essentially towards our sector of Nigeria? So just find ways to ensure that that money stays within the South. So if we're able to identify banks and institutions that are especially vested in the South, then that should be the conduit. Not we can't be working and let these malams be grab. Yeah. Do you
yeah.
think we should be more strategic with the money? Is essentially my question.
Oh yes, just like you said, yeah, we should be more strategic, but at the same time, our strategy can work better if we have people in government that really understand how things work in other parts of the world. If we have competent leaders in position that can use their asset, to develop their country. But who those we have in the position now are corrupt people that does not care about tapping into the assets they have, and use it to turn around the economy. So what I'm trying to say here is we, as an asset, if government have put in place a kind of policy that can encourage us to invest back home, that country will not be asking or begging for foreign investors. We are investors on our own. We are capable of bailing that country out of the economic problem that country is going through. But bad policy is bad government policy, bad economic policy by this present administration is what is pushing everybody out. Is what is discouraging us from, taking our asset home, taking our investment home, and use it to develop the economy of that country. You see, how could you? I mean, it is understandable now that our economy is a dollarized economy. Our economy is the performance of our economy depend on the performance of dollar. So, and if the rate at which you see the value of our currency deteriorate is so discouraging for any businessman or investors, to go and put his money into that economy there. Because if you put, let's say, for example, you put like $100,000 into that economy, if care is not taken, before you know, in the next 3 months or 6 months, your money will deteriorate. The value of that money will deteriorate so fast because the naira value is not stable. So there's nobody that want to take his money to economy that is not stable, and the political atmosphere is not stable. Economic atmosphere is not stable. Nobody wants to take his money there. So it's all about risk. Taking your money anywhere business is risk. But when it is so obvious that risk is unpredictable, then you don't want to do that kind of business. If you cannot predict the risk, then you don't want to take your money into that kind of economy. So that's the problem we're going through now. So we are asset to that country, but you have people in government, people in charge of in charge of governance of that country that are not ready to make use of us to develop that country, but rather to loot, and that is only what in their hand. What they have in the resources is to lose the resources and deny people, whatever that is good for people. They are not interested in it. So that's the problem we have.
Adale Koko, they've tried to average, just going by their figures, and of course we can use their figures as the benchmark, and then we can scale it up to what we understand to be the actual real figures. But just going by their figures, they've averaged it down to about $38,000 per person on average as remittances per year. That is a vast amount of money. That is more than the average wage in virtually every westernized country. So a significant amount of money actually being pumped in. So should we now recalibrate and look at just the weight of our importance to that economy and see how we can leverage that as a tool? How can we leverage now this diasporic phenomenon? Because Nigeria is number 3 in terms of remittances globally. So how can we leverage that to effect, for some influence? How can we use this thing now, this information?
That information is a very useful information to all of us. Knowing what an average amount that we send back home. But just like I said earlier, a country that is unstable economically and the political future is not clear to everybody because of what is going on in the country. It's so hard for us to really know what we can do right now with the advantageous position that we in the diaspora have for that country. It's unpredictable future of that country. It's a real problem. It's a real problem.
Okay. Adale Koko, contrast this conversation that we are just having now with this headline: seeking jobs abroad isn't an option for young Nigerians. They don't have the right skill set. So seeking jobs abroad is not an option for young Nigerians. They don't have the right skills. We're just talking about remittances now, but the specificness of this now headline is speaking to the skills now that are needed in contemporary times, and the skills being churned to Nigerian youths are not consistent with the skills being needed in these times that we live in. And they are citing India, Bangladesh, Malaysia, etc., as examples of countries that are skilling their people to fit the the needs of contemporary times. So what are you making of that? Nigerian youths are not skilled enough for the modern workspace. Do you agree with that? And if you do, what are your thoughts on it? Just what are your thoughts in general on that assertion?
You see, a country that does not invest heavily on education is a country that does not have future. The future of that country is really, really bleak because we don't invest on education at all. Our public education is like it's like a trash. If you see, I mean, how you see a situation where the university go on strike several times in the past. The academic staff union of university are gone on strike. The last one they went was like 9 months. And right now they are getting ready to embark on another strike just because government is not fulfilling its own part of the agreement they signed with them. And what was this ASU asking for? What they are asking for mainly, other than the increase of their salary, is the improvement on the standard of education, the standard of the facility, the improvement on the educational facility. These are what these associations are asking for. But you see people in government that are not interested in investing on education. They did not sign, they did not fulfill their own part. So ASU, for example, is getting ready to embark on strike. We have educational infrastructure that are worst of its kind. You have our educational structure are not of the same standard of what we have in those countries that you mentioned, Bangladesh, Malaysia, and all the rest. We are not of the same sector. And one thing essentially is this: any nation that does not invest heavily on STEM education is a nation that can never compete in the community of the nation. What is STEM education? Is science, technical, engineering, and maths.
Okay, that is where I was there to.
Nigeria does not invest on that.
That is where I wanted to take you to. Yeah, that is where I wanted to take you to.
Nigeria does not invest on STEM education. When you don't invest on STEM education, you cannot compete with the Committee of Nations in the world. You will be lagged behind, and you just kill the future of that country. And that is what we are having in Nigeria. Nigeria does not invest on STEM education. In America here, America invests heavily on STEM because this is an advanced country, and they still invest on STEM just because they want to be competitive with other, even with emerging economy like China and some other, India. Because of the threat from those countries, because India particularly invests on STEM. That is why you will see Indian students, when they come to America, they are battled, they are ready for anything. Compared to Nigerian student, a student from Nigeria, they are ready with they have the skill in computer skill and all this technological skill. They have it. That is what the nation gives to them. Their nation gives to them, rather.
Ajanle Koko, that is where I was looking to take you to. That those traditional career pathways that traditionally, historically, Nigerians have always guided their children to. become an accountant, become a lawyer, especially. Everybody wants their children to become lawyers. Is it now, because this is what this article is speaking to. It says innovation and disruptive technologies have become salient components of industrialized economics. This is what they're looking for: robotics, 3D printing, precision machining, data analytics, bioinformatics, digital imaging, design and animation all feature prominently. So this is where the marketplace is now. So I want to be a lawyer, I want to be an accountant. Yes, that there's always going to be a need for that, but the preponderance now is in this STEM space that you're speaking to. So is the Nigerian system now education that was once vaunted as one of the best in the world? Is it now garbage in, garbage out?
Obviously, garbage in, garbage out. We cannot look. Nigerian students cannot compete with when it comes to STEM education. Now, I'm not talking about just lawyers and all the rest of them, but STEM education, we are far behind. We are far behind compared to the Asian country. Whereas in the 70s, Nigeria was atop of these people. Nigeria was atop of them. They are no match to Nigeria in science and technology education, in this art education, like lawyer and science. They are far behind us in the 70s. But where are we now? They are far above us in STEM education. We are no match to them. We are below below them completely. So that nation is when you just look at what is happening in that nation by this criminal gang we have in the position of leadership, the way they have destroyed that nation, they have sent that nation 60 years backward. 60 years backward.
You see, what we don't realize in Nigeria, John Lekoko, is that the country is not going to, the world is not going to go back, the world is going to go forward. And this especially is what Buhari is not realizing, especially this is what we're seeing. I cite you the example. If you want to do some coding, you want to do some app, etc., you will simply go online, commission somebody in Delhi, in Chennai, in Mumbai. He doesn't have to leave Delhi or Mumbai. He will write you your code. You will pay him in dollars. He's a dollar earner in Chennai, in Dubai, in Chennai, in Mumbai. So this is what is going on now globally. They call them digital nomads. The world is a global marketplace now, and I don't think the Nigerian system is gearing itself towards it. I've always had the thought that what goes on in India is not something that is beyond the realms or the remit of the average Nigerian. If you train them, all these are, I don't know what it is in America, but in the UK, when you are phoning your bank, you are phoning your telephone provider, that call that is being picked up is being picked up in India, because that is where these people have their telephony services. The Indian accent is no better than the Nigerian accent. The Indian brain is no greater than the Nigerian brain. So this is where economy is now, and this essentially is what this article is saying: is that we're not training our children, the young Nigerians, in the needs of contemporary times. This is the concern. But let me take you from there, Janle Koko, and let me take you instead.
Let me respond 1 minute. You see what you mentioned now, that when you making your call to your 800 number, like here, when you pick 800 number call, those people that will pick up the call are Indian, and they are in India.
So why can't they be in Nigeria? Why can't they be in Nigeria? The accent is not better. Their English is not better than ours. So this is the thing.
That Nigeria have not prepared their children to occupy that kind of space. Nigeria have not prepared that. We don't give our children that kind of education we didn't prepare them well to be marketable to the rest of the world. Nigeria has demarketed Nigerian nation have demarketed us completely. That is the problem. If Nigerians educational system is running well the way it's expected to run, if we are invested on STEM education, we will be one of the biggest market in the world. They will be looking for us to be doing that job. That will attract, international investment to come and, invest in our space and get our children into doing that kind of job that we are talking about now. Look, when there was a time I was calling, I cannot remember, maybe I was calling my one company, I can't remember, one of these, maybe it's, so the lady he picked the call from Philippines. Philippines.
Yeah.
So I didn't know it's Philippines. I thought it was here. So when we were talking and was trying to sort out this, solve the problem for me, I started hearing a cock crow behind the scene. I said, where is that cock crow coming from? He said, I'm sorry, my window, I left my window open, and I'm sorry if that noise is bothering, I'm sorry. I said, no, I love it. I said, it sounds natural to me. And he said, I asked her, I said, by the way, where are you? He said, I'm in Philippines. I said, wonderful. So we are calling 800 number here for maybe my bank or some kind of something, and somebody is taking the call in Philippines and solve the problem for me. Is that not wonderful?
There's absolutely no reason why that person cannot be in Ibadan. No reason at all.
Yeah, you didn't train your children. You didn't have the right education. They don't have the modern education that they're supposed to have. So they don't. You compete with the rest of the world. That's the problem.
Okay, so the skills gap then that this article identifies, you essentially agree with. Hello? Can anyone hear me?
Hello?
No. Yeah, you're back now, Ajande Koko. We lost you for a moment. I was just saying that essentially the skills gap that this article speaks to, you agree with. You identify with the skills gap that is being identified by this article.
Oh yes, I agree with it completely.
Oh, all right, brilliant. Let me take you to Nigerian politics now. Back and forth between Yaya Bello and Tinubu. Yaya Bello trying to use Tinubu's age to diminish him, and Tinubu's group. I don't think this is directly Tinubu himself, but he has a mass following. They are using Yaya Bello's incompetence to diminish him. So the battle for that 2023 space, Yaya Bello or Tinubu, what is your choice? Or is it a plague on both their houses?
Well, Yaya Bello, even though he's a criminal, but what he said is true. Tinubu is not fit for that position. We want to really tell ourselves the truth, because it's not physically, health-wise, is not fit for that position. So let us put away sentiment. He is not fit for that position. His health is failing, and is failing rapidly. We can see it when he speaks, when he walk, and we can see recently he just went for some kind of treatment from some kind of maybe knee surgery and all the rest of it. Walking with stick. He is not fit for that position. We have one man. We have a president there now that is unhealthy, and we can see what we are going through as a nation. Do we want to have another person after him that is not healthy as well? No, we cannot do that, except we are stupid people. This guy is not healthy. He should go and sit down. He's not healthy. If you want to forget about, let's even is corrupt tendency is a different thing. But the health is not. His health is not good for him to occupy that challenging position. He cannot handle that position well with his health. No, it's totally, to me, it's disqualified.
Okay.
Meanwhile, that the other one,
Yes.
that criminal, that one they call
Yaya Bello.
Yaya Bello. That person that have not paid the salary of workers for how many months? Coming out that he want to be president.
They are saying he's owing the most out of all the governors.
He's owing the most out of all them. So is that the one I mean, Nigeria is just we are not serious people. That kind of person should have been chased out, should have been, I mean, people of that say should have they should have went out in their millions.
It should be eating his meals in an EFCC facility, Yaya Bello.
They should have gone out in their millions and chased him out of that the state house. It's a criminal. It's a man that denied COVID-19.
Yes. On what authority, by the way, is he denying it? What science does Yaya Bello of no known fixed address has more than the rest of the world that is saying that it doesn't exist? It's just the crass stupidity of it.
That is the kind of leadership you have in Nigeria. He denied it, and the surrounding state, all the states that border him, that bordered that state, had COVID-19, but his own state, he claimed that they don't have COVID-19 just because he didn't want to spend money. He want to pocket that money so that he can use it to run for this presidential nonsense that he's running for. So he's a criminal. He's not qualified. Tinubu himself is the father of them all. Father of them, criminal, is not qualified too because his health is failing and he cannot handle that position with his state of health.
All right. Given all you know on both of them, a straight choice, Yaya Bello or Tinubu, who would you pick? Yes, I know you wouldn't have either of them, but a straight choice, Yaya Bello or Tinubu.
No, I'm not taking none of them. I cannot I cannot stand any one of them. They are all garbage. Both of them are garbage. You know what you do with garbage? You throw your garbage away. So let's throw them away.
All right. The people that are not wanting to be thrown away, 2023, OHANAEZE pushes for president of Igbo extraction. So that argument is now starting to take shape, and a lot of it coming from the eastern quarters. Group tasks leaders on equity, insist Southeast must produce Nigeria's next president. So the language of 2023 now in full play, and this is the language that we're hearing from the East. Is it a language of entitlement? Is it almost like a pleading note? Are they trying to guilt trip people? It is our turn. It's essentially the politics of that space. It is our turn? Is that politics? Ajane Koko, it is our turn.
Well, that statement is a statement of fact. To all of us in the South, if we really want to look at it, I think it's the turn of the Southeast for presidency. And the OHANAEZE, what they need to do or what they should be doing now is to lobby with the rest of their Southern brothers. They should lobby the South, and the Southwest. And bring out what they need to do now is to bring out a consensus candidate among them, a consensus candidate that they know that they can appeal to the rest of that southern space. Somebody like Peter Obi, a man that is well-disciplined, a person that managed the resources of his state when he was a governor from like a zero level to a state that was very buoyant as at the time he was living. We need somebody like that. Somebody that had never been invited by EFCC for once. for any
Okay.
question.
I
Not for once.
Okay, Ajanle Koko, do you think it is time for them to start presenting a more potent argument than just it is our turn? Because that seems to be the submission of the totality of how they're pushing towards that Aso Rock seat. It's just on the basis of it is our turn. Do you think they should present more than that, or do you think that is sufficient enough to get them that seat? It is our turn.
Well, that is one of it. Their turn is one of it, and some other things. Just like I said, that you present a consensus candidate, let people see that candidate that we know it can be trustworthy, that we know that it's not corrupt. They can use the quality, the leadership quality of that person, to convince others that we are ready, and then lobby around the southern space, get a solid support from the south. Then we can start walking to the north and go to the north north central, and then go to the northwest and some other part of the Nigeria, that to convince other. But we need somebody that it can be presentable, that a person that can take us out of this economic problem, a person that can unite us, and not a tribal person, not person with that tribal tag, that person with that tribal make a very derogatory statement about others. And I believe that Peter Obi fit that space. Is a
Yes,
man that has
I think you just like that guy. That is the thing. You
yes,
just like him.
yes, I like him because
Yeah.
I really love people that are done so good for their people, using the position of authority to transform the life of their people, and that is what he did. And that is why you see we are talking about Soludo too. That if we have Soludo in Anambra State, then Anambra can pick up from where they can develop more, because Obi started that that good move of development of that state. And if Soludo can come in there too with his vast experience in international economy and the rest of it, they can transform that. So we need another person too, like Peter Obi, somebody that is detribalized person, somebody that is not corrupt, somebody that have held a position of authority and use it to transform the life of their people. We need that person, to say somebody that is internationally, it can be internationally accepted, because international world is looking at Nigeria and they want somebody that can really convince them that yes, this is a person with a track record that can appeal to international community to bring investment to Nigeria. So Igbo should work hard on it. This issue of a lot of people want to go to presidency. They need to go and sit down among themselves and look for a consensus, somebody that is that can convince us that yes, this is the person for the job. So that's what the OHANAEZE need to do. They shouldn't just be making the noise.
It is our turn.
It's our turn. No, they should work hard, do their underground work, do their lobbying right, and give us a good candidate for that position.
All right. Thank you, Ajanle Koko. Stay with us just for as long as you can. We go on to Vin next, who has been waiting patiently. Vin, good to see you again. Are you with us, Vin?
Yeah, thank you very much, one man. It's raining heavily here, though.
You were saying, I love those. I love those African rains. It's almost like bullets sometimes.
My brother, it makes this place naturally cold.
Yes. You know why? What I especially love about the African, because back in the day, we used to have this metal type of roofing. So when it's raining on it, it has its own rhythmic thing to it. So
if you listen, you will see here the sound on the background.
There you go. You are filling us with nostalgia. But that nostalgia, of course, $65.34 billion dollars sent to Nigeria just in 3 years by people in diaspora. These are just images these are just data captured officially, but then unofficially, of course, you'd expect triple that. This is what people are suggesting. So what are you just making of that? That is more than the economy of most African countries, an average of $20 billion per annum just remitted. I don't think Gambia has that economy. Certainly not Sierra Leone, Liberia, or
Even
even
Ghana here.
that's a huge amount of money.
Yes. You see, when you come to Ghana here, when you look at the GDP of Ghana is not even, it's not up to 40 billion. But if in that is the whole entire country. But when you come to Nigeria, where you see such figures as remittances from abroad, including most of us that are in Ghana here, we've been sending money to Nigeria as well.
Well, no, that's the, well, you are in diaspora too. You are a diasporan because a diasporan is anybody outside of his country. So even the people in Benin, Togo, they're in diaspora, you know,
Exactly.
and I don't think they're capturing that data too. So
My brother,
yeah.
My brother, if Nigeria will be sincere to themselves, and those that will call our politicians, if they will be sincere to themselves, they will bow for those in the diaspora. The diasporans will have say in whatever that goes on in the, in the government of Nigeria. But they are not doing that. Just imagine for me, it is, I am putting it, if you look at what is happening, the official, if you go, this is the official, but in the other side of it, on the other side of it, it is over, for me, it is over 100 billion.
No, it must be. Because you know what they are basing this figure on? They are basing this figure on 1.7 million Nigerians in diaspora. That's a total joke because
that is the official.
Yeah, because the data that the Nigerian diaspora Abike Dabiri is bringing is 15 million, and that's even still an underestimation. So if they are doing that data, that's 65 billion on 1.7 million people, then you can just use that as just a low base level, and then put the actual figure. It's a huge amount of money we're talking about. Huge.
My brother, it's a huge amount of money. In fact, what the government of Nigeria is supposed to do in terms of welfare is what the people in the diasporans are doing to their people. So including you there, including you sitting every day behind the camera doing this job that you are doing, including all of us that are even commenting here as well. What I'm saying in effect is this: if the Nigerian government really wants to at least recognize, in fact, the diasporans supposed to have a very vital position in the leadership of Nigerian government, because how much are they making? If people that are living outside Nigeria will send in $60-something billion in 3 years, my brother,
and by the way, Vin,
it's a huge asset to the country, but they are mismanaging them.
And by the way, Vin, that's 65 point whatever billion dollars. That's just the amount that Alexander Gomez alone is sending. They have not even counted the rest of us. That is just Alexander sending change to his siblings. 65.
Exactly.
One man. Vin, can I say something, please?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. You see, since I put my Nigerian passport, you know, it's almost like 5 months now. To get passport is a problem. I said, well, since they don't want me to become, now let me go to another city. Let me take another citizenship now. You know, to even get passport is a problem. Upon all the money we are being remitted to them. So get a passport.
They can't even print passports for you. You go in for renewal. They will tell you that there are no booklets. People over there are remitting such amount of money. What are you doing with it? What are you doing with all those monies, my brother?
What are you doing with the money that you are collecting for the passports, even? Because you are meant to. It's not profit. The
passport that they are going to issue you, they are not going to issue it, without any payment made. There must be a payment that is going to be made on issuing of that passport. You will pay for it. Yet they cannot provide it for you. That is to tell you how bad they are, how bad the administrators are. Instead of going forward, they are driving people backward.
All right. Let me move you on for reasons of time. So, like I said to Ajanle Koko, contrast that conversation then with this headline: seeking jobs abroad isn't an option for young Nigerians. They don't have the right skills. So they are talking about now the sort of education that we have in Nigeria and the sort of skills that Nigerian youths are being given. So not fit for purpose, the schooling system in Nigeria essentially. And this is a detailed report, by the way. What are you making of that?
Yes,
We don't have the right, yeah.
it's a 50-50 thing for me. One man.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, it is a 50-50 thing for me. Recently, I think a year ago or a year ago, the best science technology innovation they had, I think in the US or where, or in where they did it. I think in Canada, I can't remember the exact place. The people that topped the whole places were students from Anambra Secondary School. They beat the whole world, and see, what Nigeria need is to invest in education. There is no how, even with what they have today, put them apart with their counterparts abroad, they tend to beat them. You see, this is what, see, I believe in what individually we can produce in Nigeria. But when you come to collective, it is a fallacy for me.
Vin, that Anambra example, that's an outlier. So hold on. That's an outlier. That is a fact that stands alone against what is the norm. So the norm in Nigeria is that they are not skilling them properly, and they are not skilling them to the needs of contemporary times. So this is
there is science and innovation. Ghana was involved. Nigeria was involved. There are so many other African countries that were involved, and even up there where you are. They came first. There were, I think, about two boys and 3 girls. It was on the news. It was on Sahara. It was everywhere. It's not a lie. Because, see, whatever we say here is verifiable. You can check on it.
No. I'm not saying it's a lie. I'm saying that it's an exception to the norm. It's an outlier. It's something that runs ahead of a situation that subsists. But let UK come in. I think you wanted to make a brief comment. Yeah.
Yes. I think that meeting was at Silicon Valley in California.
Yes, I think so.
The hub of the technology. That was where those schools in Anambra took first.
I think so.
No ramification. Yeah, that was Silicon Valley to show you how exceptional Nigeria, our people are, or Nigerians are. You know.
Are you not going to claim them as Biafrans? You know you want to. You know you want to. You want
but
to claim them.
All these great things are coming from. They are coming from the old southern Nigeria.
All right, thank you. Let me take Plenty Water's super chat, Vin, and then I'll take you on to the next topic. So this is what our Plenty Water super chat. It says, won't you rather take Tinubu, since he has all the companies, either direct or indirect ownership, that operates most things in Nigeria, most things that Nigeria lacks? He can then award contracts in fairness. So I think he's speaking to that conversation that I was having with Dan Lekoko, that it was a straight choice between Yaya Bello or Tinubu, who would they have. So still within that space, let me take you there. Yaya Bello back and forth with Tinubu, saying Tinubu is too old, and Tinubu's camp telling him that he's just completely incompetent and a disgrace to the not too young to run bill. So the back and forth between Tinubu and Yaya Bello, what are your thoughts on that, Vin?
In as much as Yaya Bello it's not my favorite, though. I will tell you that it's on point, because we don't need the way Nigeria is now. We don't need people, our great grandfathers, to come and lead Nigeria. That is the only thing I would say there. Let the young ones come, the young ones with the attitude of developing the nation. Let them come in and take over the mantle of leadership in Nigeria. We don't need our ancestors. We don't need them anymore, my brother. We don't need them. We don't need our ancestors.
But the grandfather. No, but sorry, it's only 59, isn't it, or something? It's 24 or
60,
something like that.
one man, do you believe
It's
that?
13.
Do you
No,
believe that?
well,
I
you know,
am
this
40
is
something years old. I am 49. And you will
it's
tell me,
like
look at my face. If I open my video, you know my face. Then look at someone
yeah.
that's 69. I don't
Mm.
think that is correct.
It's like that fabled Nigerian footballer who is celebrating his 28th birthday, but his twin brother is celebrating his 40th birthday. So this is
Yeah,
it, footballer age,
exactly. See, the same thing happen. It's a football age. This is
football age.
they are using football age. They are
Yeah,
using football age to deceive every Nigerian. But the right
look at
thing must
that.
be the right thing. Let the right thing be done. We don't need ancestors. We don't need ancestors. We don't need people that will be, carrying them by the hand to go and deliver addresses. We need young people to come into the political arena and deliver. These
But
people are old.
you are saying we need young people, but Yaya Bello is an example of a young person. He
Is it
owing
not?
more than
Yeah,
yeah. So
he's
it's not recommendation for that space because
look for me.
the young are even worse if we're using
But
Yaya Bello as an example.
because what is happening is that we don't have procedures where merit doesn't work in Nigeria. Because for me, I told you, in as much as I hate him, in as much as I hate Bello as well, he is what he said is true. But that doesn't mean that I would prefer Bello to any other person. But the person I am looking up to, if Nigeria would tell themselves the truth, not just because he's an Igbo man, is P2B. If you go
Look
to
at
the
that.
if
Look at
if
that.
you go to what P2B did in Anambra, say he was the only person, the only governor in the whole federation
What
that
about
refused.
Fashola? What about Fashola? What about
Oh, you see,
Ambody?
I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming.
No, is Peter Obi better than Ambody?
Look, what P2B did, P2B had a reserve. No, when you look at Anambra, you look at Lagos. Lagos revenue is even can be compared with the GDP of Lagos can be compared with the
No.
GDP of Ghana.
No, what they did with it is what we're talking about, not the size of their economies. What Ambode did with its own space, compare that with what Peter Obi did with his own space,
It's not match. One man is
because
not match to what better is
You
not
see,
match to what better
because
we did.
because
EFCC,
I
EFCC,
Look,
because
look,
I
EFCC is
think
looking
Ambode
for Ambode now. Ambode is being chased by EFCC now.
no, they know
They
his
they
address.
never chased Peter
Number
Obi.
one, Ekpe Road. Number one, Ekpe Road. Eh, all right, but as I said to Ajale Kokovin, if you had
yes, sir.
if it was a choice just to choose one of the two, Yaya Bello or Tinubu, who would you choose?
I will not choose any. I would rather stay at home. I will not choose any of them because they are all corrupt. Even as we speak right now, yeah, Bello, there are some contracts. Is it not the same person that they kidnapped a commissioner in his place and he came outside to lie to the whole world that it was not in Kogi State? So these are and he is owing a lot of people in his state. So what with all the money that during the election, the federal government refunded him all the money he used to build the federal roads. So will he tell people now that he's lacking money to the extent of owing the workers in the Kogi State? Those ones I don't even prefer. Instead of me to vote these two people, I remain at home.
Just on that, what you just said now, what do you think the voter turnouts will be for the next round of elections? Because I of the view that people are completely and totally disenfranchised now with the system, and they're just saying you can just get lost and do what you like. What do you think
You
the
see,
voter turnouts will be?
it will be very low because before now, when they were just trying to build themselves up to see, a Nigerian man always say there is hope, there is hope. You go better, you go better. But as we go forward, it won't get better. So there is voters apathy in the
Yeah.
system. With what we are seeing now, it is going to be low. It's going to go down the more. People will not be interested to vote. If you stand there for the whole day, you vote, and your vote doesn't count. From the polling station to the collation center, the whole thing will be dabaru lies in other place. Then what do you expect?
Okay. If the voting does take place, do you think that vote then will be going to an Igbo candidate? The Eastern quarters making their play for that space now, with what some people feel is a tone of entitlement, claiming it is their turn and people should cede it to them because they have never really had a proper go at the presidency. So the Igbo now are play for the space. What are you making of it?
Yes, what I'm saying, you see, even if the way the political system in Nigeria is structured now, if you like bring a cent there, it won't make any impact, because the foundation, once the foundation is wrong, Nigeria is on a very horrible foundation. Once you cannot get the foundation, all the pillars and the blocks and the mortars you put there will be in vain. It will suddenly collapse. And that is what is Nigeria is gearing up towards collapse. You understand?
Okay. Even given that being the situation, I'm really wanting your sounding on the Igbo politics, where they are saying now that it is their turn, and therefore all the political parties should cede their tickets to an Igbo candidate. So, do you think that it is our turn is sufficient enough of a politic to politic into the presidential seat? It's that sense of entitlement, the entitlement politics from the East. What are you making of it?
You see, if the right thing is done from the beginning, nobody will, think of where the presidency comes from, because the political structure of Nigeria has been designed in such a way that he who controls the political power controls every resources in the country. That is why everybody is, feel that if you look from the history of Nigeria, the Igbos hasn't ruled. To be fair to them, they have not ruled anything. They have not ruled Nigeria till today as we speak. And as we speak now, they are still, looking at them simply because of what happened during the Civil War. That is the thing. They have been sidelined because of the Civil War. Let's get that. Even me, when I was in the military.
Do you think they are playing? Sorry, do you think they are? Yes.
Nyamiri, because they look at them because, people that wanted to free themselves or stay alone on their own, they were the people that were being marginalized till today. So you can see the evidence, it's evidently proven. So if they begin to say, oh, it is the alternative, which means it is the system that we are seeing, you and I have been, observing for the past, let me say, since independence. That is the system they are reacting to. Not that it's just a right for anybody or any tribe, any ethnic.
Do you not feel they should do more? Do you not think? Because I don't think it is our turn is enough to claim it is. It is our turn. Who cares if it's your turn or not?
One man, I don't care. I don't care whose turn it is. If the right thing is done, nobody will ever look at or question where the president comes from.
All right. I agree with that.
Mr. B, what's the right thing? What is the right thing?
The right thing is through federalism. That is the right thing, and that is the restructuring. That is what we are clamoring. Well, that's what everybody is clamoring for. The same thing that brought the Nigerian people to my hometown here, Eburu in Ghana. That's what they are asking to do: restructure the country so that everybody will manage whatever they have, and they pay a certain percentage to the central government. You will now reduce the devolution of powers, all those things that are on the what do they call it, exclusive list. Exclusive list will be reduced, sent back to the grassroots. You can only develop a nation from the grassroots, not from Abuja. Through federalism, restructuring, you can only develop a nation from the grassroots. If you are talking from the top, Master, you are wasting your time.
So that means you agree with me that the problem of Nigeria is the masses, not necessarily the leaders.
It is not the masses. It is not the masses. Look, it took one person in Ghana here to do what we are enjoying here today in Ghana.
What are you guys enjoying anyway?
We enjoy perfect electricity 24/7. Okay. For the past 1 year now, my light has not blinked. I enjoy potable water from the government. That is the Ghana Water Works.
All right.
Due to our small resources, we have good roads. With our
Vince,
small, we have international reputation.
I actually,
And we are also, not just because we are very small, we attract businesses all around the world. The figures are there for you to see.
Mr. Ben, good. I actually, I actually push you there. I so that we can, I've been trying to get you so that we can have a one-on-one section. So
honestly, I do not know why. I don't know why. I don't know why the WhatsApp is not working. I tried. I don't know.
I'm glad that you are there. But let's find a way to link up, because everything you said, even though yes, I will say yes to you, but I will actually disagree with you, and I have reason to disagree with you. I for one don't agree with the year of return. That's one thing I really want to talk to you about. But let's find a way to
why don't you agree? Why don't you agree with the year?
Let me tell you about the year of return.
Hold on, Vin. Why don't you agree with the year of return? Because I think Nigeria should have one too, but why don't you agree with it?
Why do we need special envoy or being powered by the international community for our own people to return home? Why?
No, it was essentially set out to welcome them. It was just like a headline something now.
There's more to it, and I think Vince will disagree with it, but not to the details of what I'm saying. That's why I said we're talking about it. If you come home, you don't need to. I don't need special recognition to come home.
All right.
I was taken from my home with force, by force.
All right. Okay.
There's something to it.
All right.
One man, let me speak a little on that.
No. Hold on.
Hold
that thought. Yes. Have your one-on-one with Ovi
today. I think I'm free today. What time will you be free today, so that we'll come on again and have a
exchange details.
Ovie, give me your Facebook, right. Because if there is a post I post on the Facebook, they banned me for 1 month, so I have about.
Are you on Instagram? Are you on Instagram, Vin?
Yes. Okay. I am on Twitter. I'm on Instagram as well.
Okay, Ovie, are you happy for me to post your Instagram to Vin so that he can contact? Yeah.
Give me both the Instagram and Twitter. I will connect with him.
All right. Can you do that? Put that in private chat so I can go on to James.
I will do that. It's funny you said Facebook ban you. They actually get on their Facebook jail not quite long too. So we have a lot in common.
that Facebook, they are overplaying their hand. That Facebook, very soon they will fall. But thank you, Vince. Stay with us. Let's go on to James then, who has been waiting patiently. So, James, the talking points are Nigeria's remittance international to Nigeria. So we're getting some data now to that space, and a lot of people are saying it's an underestimation, 65 point something billion in 3 years, and people are even saying that is significantly more than that. So what are you making of that? We're getting now just the size of the remittances from diaspora to Nigeria. Just eye-opening stuff. Your thoughts?
Thank you very much, Tawama. I think the figures are not accurate because Nigeria is a society of garbage in, garbage out. So when they want to portray figure, they just go in there and write whatever they feel that, whatever they feel that is convenient for them, and they just publish it. That's all. What we have been remitting is more than 10 times of what they are saying for over 3 years.
No, these are World Bank figures, and they are taking it officially, but the unofficial figures,
there are some issues I don't want to mention because we are online. It has to do with money. I want to tell you clearly that Nigeria government is not working with the World Bank. So those guys are even strong to figure out how Nigeria managed to survive. Nobody believes Nigeria will even survive economically this day with their economic policy. Even the World Bank, they marvel and they are wondering how come this country is still going on, because we are not really operating on the capitalism system as far as the world is concerned. We don't have data, so we don't have anything. We just copy figure and give to people, and that's all. They cannot even come to our country and figure out things out. So they talk about the ones they themselves can, maybe a few records that they have, not actually what is coming.
But every country manipulates their figures now when it comes to population or how they operate. They all manipulate their figures. China, America, whatever, name it.
So, excuse me, Ovi, I cannot use the word every country. I don't know where you
I'm
live. You live
using
in
it. I am using it.
Okay.
Every.
Listen.
Yes, everybody manipulate these figures.
Now, I want to tell you that if you said even populate, let us not argue. Sometimes when we use the
No,
word
it's
like
not argument. If I'm not arguing, I'm putting it to you direct. Every country manipulates this data.
That's
No.
not true. That's not true, Ovi.
Ovi, see, let me
That's
tell you
not
one
That's
thing.
not true.
Give me one
No,
country
no.
that doesn't manipulate this data. Give me one.
America.
Let me correct you
America.
here.
Everything is transparent. The figure, everything is transparent. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
yes, everything is transparent because they put it out there. Everything they put it out there is transparent. Everything
Let
that
us
we
not
put out is
waste
not
time
transparent.
on argument. I just want to draw a point.
Anything where they put out is transparent. Anything where we put out is not transparent. Why?
Do you even
Please,
have
go ahead,
anything?
James.
Do you
Go,
even have
James.
the data to put out in the first place? What is who
One
knows your data? Do you
So
have the transparent data in the first place?
Nigerian data is not transparent, Ovie. Nigeria's data is
I
skewed
am not. I agree with you. So is every other
the
country
population
too.
data is completely out of
stand up.
skew
I agree
by
with you.
40-45%.
Man,
I agree with
So
you,
all,
but
all the
so is
data is
every other
yeah.
nation too. So is every other country. I'm not saying Nigeria is special.
Let me tell you.
In that regard, every one of them manipulate their data.
Let me tell you this, Ovie. I don't know about every nation, but I can say for the United Kingdom that their data in terms of population is if not wholly, largely accurate because they use those data to calibrate resources and development. So they need to
Exactly my
yes.
point. Exactly my point. Data
What
for
is your point?
resources, data for profits. That's what data are for. You manipulate it on your advantage.
No.
What is this guy talking about, man?
You know, he
What is
never
this
knows
guy
anything.
talking about, man?
He's
Ovi,
talking
How many Yoruba people did London?
Look, no, listen.
No. Let's start from there.
How would I know how many Yorubas are in
Exactly.
London?
No, go to British. They have the data there. They will say they have it now.
They will have
They will
it,
tell
you know.
you. Yes.
They will have it, yes.
Mr. Anthony Coco, how many illegal immigrants there in America? Those will walk and enter without passport, without airport. How many them be?
You'll be surprised that they know the illegal immigrants in America. You cannot go through this.
Being accurate is off the table.
All right. Okay.
Yes, but not being. What do you mean by being accurate? Everybody
No. Accuracy is has no.
America has been 1.3.2
You don't know
for the past how
anything,
many
man.
years?
You don't know anything. I'm sorry to say.
Okay, I'm not arguing.
Look, accuracy allows some margins of error, but accuracy largely is accurate almost to dismiss that margin of error. Hold on, Charles. In the United Kingdom, you cannot even come out of your house without your data being captured. Your data is captured in your banking system, in your purchases, in your interaction with the health services. You cannot function in the United Kingdom.
The same with United States here.
Without your data being captured in one state.
Here.
And that data that is captured in the banking system, in your shop something, is centrally pooled. So it's just almost impossible for you to function. How can you function without your data being captured? Do you know for
James,
sometimes
give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute.
I have a question to ask, please.
Hold on.
How will your data be captured if you walk through the bush into that country without going to the normal channel? How will your data be captured? How?
Sorry, Ajale Koko. Let me just ask Ovie this question and then I'll come back to you. If you come through, however you are describing, into, let's say, America, and you live there within 1 year, can you live in America for 1 year, 2 years, let's say 3 years, without interacting with the system?
People, they stay here for decades. You're not their system for this same country. Women where they so.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean with about interacting with the system?
Yes.
They don't use the health services.
Yes.
They don't use the health services.
They
don't use the banking system. They don't purchase. They don't buy houses. They don't go to school.
Yes.
They don't go to school.
They
don't
have
acquire
order. They
skills.
have order in other people's name. Yes.
All right.
I'm saying it boldly.
Okay. All right.
So
Okay. Ajale Koko, go on. Yeah, go on.
One man, excuse me.
Sorry, James. I'll come back to you very quickly. But let Ajale Koko just interject. You still have the floor, James. Yeah, go on, Ajale Koko.
Just to support one man said that, the system, captured everything about us, if not in totality, but to a considerable level that is almost to that total. Look, a friend of mine just moved from one house. He just bought a new house and he moved to that new house. And what we normally do here, that when you move from one place to another, you call your bank. Give me 1 minute. It looks like my audio is, let me adjust it. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah,
we are hearing you. Just continue.
So
be hearing
what we normally do here is when you move from one place to another, you will call your bank so that they can effect the change of your of your new address and everything about you. But this guy did not call the bank. He didn't call nothing. So he traveled out of the state and he got to a gas station. He was using his card to make payment, and usually the card will ask of your zip code. So he entered the zip code of his old address, which is still on that card. But the system did not take it. The system did not take it until when he used the new address, the new zip code that he has moved into. He used that and the payment went through. And he was wondering, what happened? I didn't call the bank. I didn't do anything. How were they able to capture it? That is how to tell you how the system works, how they can picture, they
nobody's
know
arguing about
everything
that.
about you.
Nobody's arguing about that. They know where you are. They know where you did. They know what you talk every day. They know about all that.
Is okay if you agree with that. Okay, hold on. If you agree with that, that means that they capture everything about us in totality.
Listen, I agree with you, but I am telling you, what about those millions of people who have been walking through borders over the years that have not been captured?
Hold on. One man just asked you now. One man just asked you, is there a way you will be in this system and you will not have interaction with the system? There's no way you will not have interaction. You will go to hospital one day, you will have child or children that will go to school or stuff like that. You go, look, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
All right. Sorry, Ovie. Let me just go back to James, who did wait for his turn. So, James, you were really speaking to that space of diaspora remittances, and you are saying that those figures, just throw them in the bin because we don't have proper data in Nigeria. Yeah.
The World Bank calculated on Western Union, MoneyGram, all these money agents, only.
Yeah.
So, for example, if I give cash to my friend going back to Nigeria and say, please hand over this to my family, they are not definitely going to have record of that, and it's at the same time, as far as that money arrives in Nigeria, is already a money from diaspora. So
and that is the majority of the money that people send cash to. Give it to my mommy, give it to my sister. Yeah.
So they don't have record of this. So automatically this correct this code is a false. It's not valuable. It's not valid.
So that then just speaks to just how huge the diaspora remittances are. We're talking about vast. Some European economies even they will pale in comparison to the amounts of money, because they are saying on average the average diasporan sends $38,000 per annum to Nigeria. So that if you do the calibrations and if we factor in what you are saying now, that is the economy of some Eastern Bloc countries, Slovakia, whatever. That's a huge amount of money.
Well, with the situation of Nigeria, On my own personal opinion, it's not money that build a country. It is a system. So once the government lacks system,
you need money, James. You need money
I
now.
want to quickly tell you something. I want to point to something. So once the government lacks system to manage themselves, whether the resources, when you talk about resources, you're talking about first the human resources themselves. So once you don't have a plan or a system of grant to handle all these resources together or harmonize them together, both the human and the natural resources, even if they give you the money from World Bank, nothing is going to work. Nigeria is an example. Because we started selling crude oil before Dubai. We have been, pumping money diaspora. And most of the people that is driving the economy are from the southern part of Nigeria. And now we don't even have, I can say Nigeria as a country, the most disappointed aspect of Nigeria is that Nigeria as a country has never been opportune to have its own president. I will put that here. We are deceiving ourselves by saying, oh, one Nigeria. Now you as a Yoruba man, you are clamoring, you want a Yoruba president. An Igbo man, I want an Igbo man as a president. The Hausa said, I want an Hausa man as a president. The Fulani, I want a Doma want an Edoma as a president. Let us ask ourselves a question. That means if a Doma is there, it's a Do president before Nigeria. If a Yoruba man is there, it's a Yoruba president before Nigeria. If Igbo man is there, it's an Igbo president before Nigeria. Fulani man is there, Fulani president before Nigeria. So it is actually we have to admit the fact that Nigeria needs restructuring, because there is no way we can move from here or decide to move forward as far as this issue is concerned. Because there is no way. It's a country that has never been opportune to have its own president, and it can never have it.
All right. All right. Just that human resources thing that you were talking about, and this conversation we're having about money, tie that in then with this assertion that says seeking job abroad isn't an option for young Nigerians. They don't have the right skills. So that human resources that you are speaking to, this article speaks to as well, and is saying that young Nigerians don't have the skills needed for the modern workplace. What are you making of that?
For me, if I want to look at the history of Nigeria, I think since Gowon left office, I don't think we even have education in Nigeria. But people may be having PhD or whatever, but we don't have knowledge. And that is why Cato is ruling us. So I think we admit that we don't really pay attention to knowledge. All we want is degree so that people can honor us. We are not going to change the system. Let me give you an example now. Nigeria University, as we speak today, this year, thousands of civil engineers are going to graduate. But here comes a country where we cannot even build railway on our own. For this. Hello, are you hearing me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but you're upside down now. You need to turn your...
Somebody so you imagine that we are producing, Nigeria as a country is producing civil engineers that cannot build roads. They can't build railway.
I have to do this to see you now, James. Turn your phone like that. Turn your... Okay, carry on, and it doesn't matter. It's not that much of a... Yeah, carry on.
It's okay now.
Yeah. So no, that's better. Yeah.
Imagine, let us be sincere. Now you are training civil engineers that cannot repair bicycle, and you call it educational system. But just don't mistake me. Don't take the potential or the IQ of Nigeria for what I'm saying. It is because the government don't want to invest in practical. That is why we find ourselves in that situation. Because the same Nigerians are the one that will go to America, United Kingdom. After a few years, they are already heading a department. Is it not the same brain they took for Nigeria they took there? I don't know whether you get what I'm saying now. So we shouldn't use
I do. We
shouldn't use the intellectual IQ of our people to measure the output which they are giving out in Nigeria. That's not what I'm saying here. Try to differentiate, get what I'm trying to say. You get what I'm saying? In terms of human resources, Nigeria is a killer to human resources. Look, since government left office, every working condition in Nigeria is inhuman. Youth grow up to meet their father as a teacher, as a poor teacher. They met their father as a farmer, as a poor farmer. They met their father as a civil servant, as a poor civil servant. Every sector. So for that reason, they don't even have value to working conditions. They don't want to be like their father. I don't know whether you understand. That is why today, if you want to repair your car in Nigeria, people go to Cotonou to go and bring Cotonou people. People are building houses in Nigeria as we speak, particularly in the southern part of Nigeria. You now see Togo and Congo people building our houses. My brother, where are we going? So now when you talk of, you were talking about advanced knowledge like, you know, Indian growing so rapid, they are not better than us. The problem we have in Nigeria is that things are not good. We don't want to admit it that this thing is not good. Let us change. And when exactly are we going to change? We just continue to praise ourselves. Nigeria is the king of Africa. Nigeria is the giant of Africa.
James, have we identified that we do need to change? Because first, you must be able to identify the problem before you're able to solve it. But has Nigeria as a nation identified that is on the wrong trajectory? Would you say that they have identified that, James?
No, they haven't. Because if you fail an exam, it doesn't make you a dull person. All you just have to do is to repeat and get a good result.
Can I come in?
Hold on, Ovie. Hold on. Let him land his point of view. Yeah.
So if you fail an exam, it doesn't make you a dull person. All you just have to do, I have failed, you admit your failure, you go back and repeat, then definitely if not taking, you'll be the best student. You understand me? That is part of life. But when you are a failure and you say you are a champion, you start blaming your teacher, you tell them it is because of racism, whereas you don't know this thing. You will not you are not going to repeat and pass. You just call yourself a master. And that's the situation we find ourselves. People brag of knowledge back home, but there's nothing to show for it. Chinese are bringing secondary school upper students to come and build our railway. PhD holders are using our sovereignty to loan that money. That if we cannot pay, they can come to Nigeria and seize anything. What if we cannot pay tomorrow, they come back and say we are seizing Lagos? What will you do? Do you even have military power to change it? The answer is no. These are people who claim to be educated. You should understand their mindset. If they are really knowledgeable people, they won't do that. You cannot use your own sovereignty to sign any document for any money. And you are building railway for our people, pretending, telling them that when you have railway, industry will come. What kind of industry that you cannot even manage the diaspora potential to set up small-scale industry? You are expecting people to bring in their multi-millions into a country where you don't have people who can operate equipment. If you go to market now where they sell aging oil in Nigeria, they are selling water as we speak. They sell water and some oil. They put it in Mobi can. They put it in Texas can. What if you put this oil into a bigger machine that costs billions of euros? What will happen?
If GBT was sorry, James. Hold on. Sorry, say that again, Charles.
They have people who have money in Nigeria. What they're doing? Why they can't do it? If have money.
No, that's the issue. But Ovie wanted to come in just then. Ovie, you wanted to?
Yeah, I just wanted to point something out. I think the biggest problem we have in Nigeria is the way we see it. We keep using they. They. Who be they? Are we now? We will be Nigerian. By the time we start including ourselves, we will see the problem clearly.
We don't wield the power to effect the change. But let's you are not in governance, are you? Never mind the power of
we made the governance.
Hold on. Yeah, because we know your stance already. But in practical terms, I am not sitting in any office that can change anything paradigm right now. Yes, you have the masses. Yes, you can go and knock on their door and all of these things.
I actually make that based on the question you asked. You asked the question that you said, do Nigerians actually realize their problem here? They have to move forward. And James said, so that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying literally referring to Nigerian problem. Yes, but when you are saying they, I don't understand. They include yourself so that you because by the time you start
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Either they or we, the situation is
Let me clarify him.
I will clarify him and then we'll move on. Yeah.
We are from the same state. In your where you come from, you have to elect a senate to go to federal level to go and represent you. Automatically is in charge, is supposed to be there to stand for the policy that will shape your future. Once that person has failed to do that, then you, no matter your potential, I gave you an example. If you go to America, UK, you see the best doctors, all from Nigerians. Why they are made back home? When they were back home before they flew to United States, they were nobody. This is what I'm trying to tell you. The potential and the human resources in them is being wasted because of bad governance.
No, James, wait, James, hold on, James. You said my representative, if we go Abuja and fail, it is my fault that he failed. Not his fault. I give him that power.
Okay. No, hold on, Ovia. You've presented that argument. Sorry, James. Sorry, James.
That's our main problem. We keep excluding ourselves. That's our main problem.
No,
we exclude ourselves when it's convenient.
No,
when it's good, we say, oh, no, we be Nigerian. When it's bad,
that's just semantics. That's just hold on, Ovia. It's just no, he's always trying to push that narrative. This is obvious.
It is my fault.
Yes, it's not your fault, because it is not your fault that he doesn't have the capacity. How is it your fault if your senator does not perform?
Let me use the next one as a premise. How 4 years? We as a community has 4 years. 4 years to know who will represent us. And you are telling me if we choose that person and the person fails, it's not our fault? Come on, man.
All right. With apologies. Sorry, with apologies. With apologies, that's a total nonsense what you just said. How is it your fault what are you talking about?
One man.
Are you listening? Are you listening to him, James? Are you hearing
let me clarify what I mean. Let me clarify what I mean. The person we sent to Abuja is not a stranger. He's school in our community, eat our food, he's from our parents, our neighbor. We know him. It is not a stranger, for God's sake. He didn't come from heaven. He grew up among us. We influence his attitude.
How many people know? No, hold on, Ove. It's not how loud you say it. It's the logic of it. So settle down. How many people know their politicians anywhere in the world? Because I can tell you, in the United Kingdom, nobody knows their politicians. He turns up on the day of election, puts something through your letterbox. He invites you to a town hall meeting, and if you're interested, you go. People usually in this country, and I suspect in your country as well, America.
Yes,
hold on, can you hold on?
Yes. I'm agreeing with you.
I've not said what I'm saying, so I don't know what you're agreeing with. People in every country, virtually, they vote along party lines. Some people would never even know what their candidate looks like. In America, all over Europe, in every country, they vote along party lines. They don't vote for individuals. Nobody knows who their senator is, who their member of parliament is, who their representative is. You are either Labour or Conservative because your father was before you, and generationally you have been that politically inclined. So I'm not quite sure what you are saying, that Nigerians should go and be eating pepper soup with their. What are you talking about?
What you said is true, but whose fault is that?
But that is the system of that is politics, though. Why would Nigeria then be an? Come on, man.
Now we be the politics.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean,
One man, let me ask you one question. Can I ask you a question? Can I just come from where I am right now and just become a senator in Nigeria, just like that?
You can. Did the Borino do that? They went from London to become a governor.
That's what I want to hear from. I can if you people allowed me.
Did you hear anything I just said? What did I say?
The party is consist of which people? The party is consist of which people?
No.
Nigerians,
people,
not Americans.
People.
Okay,
who are those people? Who are those people?
Hold on. Let me tell you something that makes the point, and then I'll move back to James. If Abga presents a dog, and I'm not using that as a disparaging term to describe a person, an actual physical dog as a candidate in Anambra State, that dog will win. Because the people of Anambra, they vote for Abga. They don't. Okay. So let's just leave it. No. Forget all that. You are not making. There's no grand point. It's not making. Even Charles.
I want to ask Obi a question.
Don't ask him a
What is
question because
political party now?
it's going to
Political
drive
party
you
is
mad.
consists of
Wamba, let me quickly
Nigerians.
say something.
It's just going to
Okay, wait.
drive you mad with just this
Okay,
thing.
wait.
No, that's why
Okay,
I keep
wait.
saying that we should stop including yourself. When you include yourself,
Okay.
everything will make sense to you. You keep saying,
Wamba,
hey,
let
okay,
me
party.
Oh,
Who is
hold
part
let
of
me
on.
give
this
it
guy?
me
How
to
can
this.
Massey change Nigeria
One
when
man.
they go to Nigeria?
Yeah.
They will not change.
One man, let me
Like,
quickly
Yeah.
give you an
Massey
answer.
cannot change Nigeria.
I was going through
Yeah,
a
that's
news.
our
Yeah.
attitude. That's our attitude. We are we not the Nigerians. If you say Nigeria is not changing, that means
But
we are not
One man.
changing.
control
Keep
us.
using that
The
word.
party
We.
control us with money. So
Who
we're
is the
not gonna
party?
trust.
The parties are Nigerians. Who is the
No,
party?
the
Party is
party
not
control
it's not
the
an
amount of
outlaw. It's a
money.
Okay.
Nigeria.
You can't
People.
change Nigeria because party control money and killing us. No way. That's the reason why.
Ovie, let me
Look at
just ask
Goodluck
you
John. He
this
came
last
into power, but
question.
he did nothing. He was scared there. Look at Goodluck John. He came into power, but he
Oh,
was scared there.
all right.
And you wonder about that.
Thank you, Charles. Ovie, let me just ask you this question and just answer it briefly, and then I do need to go back to James because he does have the floor. Do people vote for parties or candidates? Yes or no? Outside of the presidential, even within the do people generally, essentially, globally vote for parties or candidates?
Thank you. The people. That's what confess. That is the subject. The people. So
Don't
their
place them.
choice.
Oh, okay, forget
The
it.
choice you make.
Thank you, Ovie. No,
Whoever you vote for, it is your choice. It is you that make that choice. Either you vote for person or you vote for party.
you see,
It is the people.
this is what James was just
It
saying about the
actually
educational
sells.
system. I'm asking you to count 1, 2, 3. You are telling me ABC.
I just
I
answered
don't.
you.
Do people vote for parties or candidates essentially globally? That's just answer that question.
My answer is that people vote. They make choice. I don't care who they do, whether the party or the person. They make the choice, and the choice will affect us.
So then you don't
The
know how
choice we
elections.
make.
So
No,
if you
I
don't
don't care.
if you don't know how
You are.
elections work, then why are you speaking to politics?
What do you mean I don't know how election work?
Yeah, because I asked
Politics.
you a simple, basic election. This is a primary school question. So
And
if
I
you're speaking to
answered
politics,
you.
do people vote for parties essentially globally or for candidates? Even in your country, in America, do they vote along party lines or for candidates essentially globally?
One man.
Can you answer the question? If you're not willing to answer
Please,
the question, then I'll
that
just
is
move
not the
on.
question. Both the
Oh,
party and the
okay.
candidate, they are the same
Okay.
person.
So
They
you
are
want to
one
set your
party.
question
The
so you
party,
can
no.
look at that.
Because the
Now you
want
see,
to
party,
answer the
you
no.
see the
One
because
man,
you
what
know
is a party?
you see
What is a party, one man? There are
no
people. What is a candidate?
You
a
know
party
the
is
right question. You know the right
Owambe.
answer, but he
Oh,
doesn't want to answer it.
no, because he knows he just likes to. He thinks if he's loud, then that makes
See,
the point.
one
He's
man,
just
Ovie
loud.
knows the
you
right
are looking,
answer, but he doesn't want to answer
one
it.
man. No. See, we are here to learn. We are educating people here. Party is not a what is it? This is not a party. Party consists of people. The candidate again, it's not a bottle of water. It's people.
That is wrong.
Listen,
That is
the
wrong.
choice.
What you're
No,
saying
now
is
the
wrong.
question now. What
Do
do you
you know
mean
what
I'm
the
wrong?
party is? Do you know what the party is? Should I tell you
What
what the
the
party is?
party is? What is a
Yeah,
party?
yeah.
What
A
is a
party
party?
means
hold on. A party is an ideological position. That is what a party is.
Carried by who? This ideology, because ideology
No,
is
no,
what? It's carried by who? By human
no.
beings, by Nigerians,
All
by
right.
me and
Okay.
you.
All right.
Our decision is what we
Okay.
are. It's what
One man.
we are
You
investing now.
don't
Our
get it.
decision.
You don't get
Later
it,
you
man.
come to
No.
Ovie.
Oh,
Let me go have
this
You
is
are
why
trying to exclude yourself. No, you are trying to exclude
James.
yourself from the problem of Nigeria. That's what I'm trying. You are trying to exclude yourself from the problem of Nigeria.
Oh,
No, the
all right.
problem of Nigeria is us. Our
This is
action
why
and inaction.
you see
It is us.
Ovie, do you see
So
why
there's
I
nothing
always
like
call
part.
you? Do you see
PDP
why
and
I always call
Nigerians.
you an
No.
80%
PDP
man? You
and
always get
Nigerians.
it to
No.
80%. 80%.
No, see,
Oh
Charles
God.
is a young man here. PDP are Nigerians, APC are Nigerians, APGA are Nigerians. So what are you
okay, the
saying?
difference between America is that the party here
The
care about
question
people.
is not the
Nigeria care about
question.
people.
Who
All
is the
right, thank
party?
you.
Who is
Oh,
the
all
party? I
right.
want to know who the
Okay.
party
I
is.
think you have
Then
made that
we
point,
need to break
but
Nigeria.
I think people
Nigeria needs to
have
break.
rejected it.
Nigeria make us
Let's just
angry. Break
let's
Who
Nigeria.
is the party?
let's
The
just
parties
move
are
on, James.
Nigerians. Me and
Let's
you,
just
that's
Nigeria
the
move.
making us
party.
angry.
Either we
That's what we
register, we
should.
know it. And me and you,
Let
party.
That's
Let's
what we
just
should
move on
divide.
because
It's making us
Ovie will
angry.
just frustrate
Let's
you.
move on. I want to
That's
make
what we
it
should
clear.
divide Nigeria. That's what
One
makes us
man.
angry.
Let
One
me go
man.
back to James. Yeah, go on. Sorry, James.
Okay.
Yeah, you
I
have the
was
floor.
going through a news. I was going through a news this morning from Nigeria. There was a private university in the northern part of Nigeria. This private university was not properly registered. Do you know for over 4 years, he gave admission to students. He has been training people. And even some were hoping to graduate either this year or next year. For them to discover that this school was not properly registered. Now they are on television to tell you the level of the rottenness of our country. We don't have data. We don't register anything. The government don't even know. We don't have number. It's the only country in the world where government don't even know our citizen. Because a Nigerian citizen that moved to Benin Republic, as we speak today, our neighboring country, if you are a Yoruba Benin Republic, or if you are Yoruba Nigeria, you go there. There is no way you can manipulate their data easily and become a Benin Republic citizen. It's totally impossible. If you are a Nigerian Hausa, you go to Niger, the same thing. This poor country have a system to know exactly who is their citizen. But in Nigeria, you call a giant. We don't even have a data to say this is a Nigerian citizen. That is very poor.
Oh, all right.
Now,
sorry, Ovie, don't interject because
yes,
we are 2 hours in already, and I was hoping to,
yeah. So, my dear brother, what am I trying to say here? In terms of human resources, Nigeria is a disaster. As we speak today, Nigerians don't want to walk back home any longer. People are being trained as a teacher. They even prefer to go and sell tomatoes. Because for all these years, teacher has been rendered as a poor citizens of the country. They don't even have value and respect.
I don't know what the percentages are, but I will guesstimate that a good 60% of Nigerian graduates are not using their education to earn an income. Uber driving, fashion designer, this, that, and the other. Some of them will even put that degree up and go to sew mistress down the road and go and learn how to sew clothes. And go and, so it's just,
this is what is happening now. Because the reason is this, the potential of these people has been ruined because of this bad government. We need to go back to restructure Nigeria and go through federalism. And then it will no longer matter whether a Yoruba man is our president and the next one is also a Yoruba man, whether the president is an Igbo man and the next man want to be an Igbo man. As far as your region is being protected, your identity and your interest is being considered, and things are moving fine. So, for example, as an Edoma, I go to Ibadan, I settle down there, I enjoy the privilege of being in Nigeria, and with the authority in Ibadan, automatically I'm under that region. With my number, they register me, I'm living, and I have the benefit as a citizen of Nigeria. What will bother me? What is going to be a problem to me? Nothing. So, a situation whereby we are struggling to define ourselves, because I said, if this agitation of all ethnic nationality is not addressed, there will be a power struggle, and that power struggle will consume the wealth of the country. Where is the wealth of Nigeria today? In terms of natural resources, is it not zero? So why can't we just look at our forefathers who were fighting to put us on the right track and do the needful? People saw it long time ago.
All right, thank you, James. Just for reasons of time, let me push you just for quick answers on the remaining talking points. Yaya Bello and Tinubu going at it hammer and tongue. The push for 2023 now in full pelt. You are too old, Yaya Bello says to Tinubu, and you are too stupid, Tinubu retorts back. So a plague on both their houses, or what are your thoughts? Yaya Bello and Tinubu are scrapping it out for that APC ticket.
If it is still going to be a Nigeria of this type of Nigeria that we are living, let Tinubu go there. Because these old men, as they are going there, they are going to, collapse the country because we are headed somewhere. So maybe before Tinubu died off, Nigeria will die. Because if Yaya Bello, if they are going to change the situation, if their view is to go back to true federalism, then these two guys, none of them is qualified at all. Because the situation we find ourselves today is that everybody and every ethnic nationality is not clamoring for their brother to be the president of the country, because the country itself is not even in existence. It doesn't even have its own leader. It's just because it favors some people, and they are clamoring to say, oh, one Nigeria, because it favors few. In reality, the country doesn't have, it has not been opportune to have its own president. Igbo man want to be there.
No, you've made that point, James. But let me push you in this direction instead. If it was a straight choice, as I've put to others, if it was a straight choice between Yaya Bello and Tinubu, who would your choice be?
I will choose Tinubu. I want leader that can expose the level, the rottenness of the country, so that you don't have room again to be deceiving ourselves that it go better. Because it go better, it will put us in this situation. Let Tinubu come in because he's very weak, he's hot. Even if a young guy goes there, we will have that privilege, that chance to be deceiving ourselves. It go better. People like Buhari and Tinubu, they will expose everything. If the Nigerians are not willing to cry out and say, look, the hour has come, we need true federalism, then let us continue.
Do you think a Tinubu presidency would essentially be a Yar'Adua Goodluck Jonathan situation revisited? Do you think that he will last the tenure, or would his advice just be waiting in the wings for
The thing you have to understand is this: there are a lot of Yoruba men who are older than Tinubu, more than 20 years old, so they are still alive. I cannot predict when Tinubu is going to end. So he may go there.
He seems to have abused. He seems to have abused his body. There's rumors of a drug habit. Almost certainly a drinker. It's just. He seems to have abused his body quite a bit.
Well, once he become a president, we will get him the best doctor to fix that. So,
like Buhari style,
Nigeria will be collapsing because we don't have a country. Let's kind of people continue to rule and scatter everything. So either we go to restructuring or we break up the country.
They will go and give him Sagbadewe like they did with Buhari Sagbadewe.
And then we will give him a better doctor to handle him so he can rule and finish the country.
All right. Finally, let me take you to the OHANAEZE space, the Eastern Quarters. They are politicking politics of entitlement. It is our turn. Seems to be the only chime that is coming out of that bell. So should they be ringing a new tune, or should there be more potency to their push for the presidency? I am suggesting that it is our turn. It's not enough of a thrust towards their Sorok seat.
Yeah, for me, I don't think Igbo president or any Igbo man should be thinking that maybe let me go and campaign, because they are not going to give them chance. We live in a country where they select by themselves. There are caucus in one corner that will select who will rule Nigeria. That one is certain. So they may deceive them just to calm the agitation from the eastern part of Nigeria. We are going to give you power. Even if they give them power, will they have the space to govern the country the way it is now? So this is my worry. So it is better we just, as an Igbo, they should put their head and come to climb up for that true federalism, and that will favor them better, and it will favor every one of us. Because if we even manage to have an Igbo president, people may likely mess up that administration. A lot of people are waiting, and they don't want. I don't think we even put chance. A country where they select, who will give them the chance? That's the question.
It'll be quite interesting to an Igbo presidency, because the Igbos are very particular and very unique in themselves. So it will either be a complete win or a total fail. But let me take you to one final space, James. Congratulations, Agiame Atuashe III, your young now new king of Wari. What are you making?
No, the thing is, I'm so happy that I'm so happy that they were able to make the coronation, because there was a lot of hurdles and a lot of division among the Shekiri people themselves. But hopefully now they have a young and vibrant king, and what is going on ground, I think those kind of kings are like it's a great blessing to we Benin and the entire Delta, the entire south people of Nigeria, because we want younger kings who can look into things from a different height. What is going on in our country? There are a lot of things that is going on. So I'm so happy that they did it peacefully, and I hope God will give him more wisdom and understanding to unite everybody.
Amen to that. And James, a lot of people were critical of Obasanjo going to visit the king and kneeling at his feet. Obasanjo 84, the king 37. But of course, Obasanjo was not kneeling to Shola, the 37-year-old king. He was kneeling to the ancestral stool of the Shekiri people. So Obasanjo's are paying homage. What are you making of that? Kneeling at the feet of the king.
These are some of the similarities we who have connection with, I would say, Ododuwa, the kind of how we reverence the throne of our ancestors. There are a lot of Yoruba potential men and women who go to Ni of Ife. It's not when they even portray lie down flat before him. It's not because of the Oni, it's because of the throne of ancestors. So this is a common practice among us. It's not a taboo. whoever want to read meanings to it, they can read meaning on their own. Because when Shola was just a common man, he will never bow before him. It's just because he has ascended to that throne. That is why he gave him his respect.
Yes,
And
it
he
is
want
the
to
throne. It is the throne that
praise.
is nailing to Noshola. Yeah.
These are thrones that have lasted for 500 years. These are thrones that resisted the colonial masters. These are thrones where kings were deported from their own land. These are thrones where more than 60% of the indigenous people were killed. We never signed. The Shekiri never signed. The Benin never signed. The John never signed. That is the Ababanawo, that is Jaja Popobo people, and many Kalabari kings were killed. And that is why we don't even have certain part of Nigeria. People don't know. Why can't we ask ourselves a question? These people, they manage to have north. Why in the south they create east and west? It's because of resistance of the indigenous people. And I thank God Almighty that people of this young generation and young king will look into matters from the heights that we want them to look it from. We are under siege. We are under barbaric practice of Nigeria. The country is not working.
All right. Thank you, James. Good to hear from you again.
You know, he referred to one something. He said there was a time the Nigeria government went to that place and did some rubbish. That the king from that place lay a curse upon that country. You see, a country that doesn't have history, it is difficult for that country to. Now, he said also the Oba of Benin, because of what they did there, also brought out so many things and lay a curse upon the federal government of the country. Now, look at that country.
No, I think he lifted that curse. He lifted that curse.
Okay. But for years, we don't even know. Look at Asaba, a country that committed genocide. Those innocent souls, up to today, we never lay them to rest, to peace. We still want to brush it aside. And instead of we to lay them to rest and build a memorial for them and ask for forgiveness, we want Nigeria to be good. We haven't started, my brother. Spiritually, Nigeria is not on the rightful ground. That is why physically nothing good is working. I just want to tell you that. That is my point.
Thank you, James. But just on that curse, I think it was you know there are several ruling families, but it was actually the ruling family of this now new king that placed the curse. The Atuase the second, who was his grandfather, I think, placed that curse on the Nigerian state. But he now, Atuase the third, Shola, he, as his first act, lifted that curse that was placed by his grandfather. So just to add something to that space. So thank you, James, and good to hear from you. We've not heard from you for a while, so good to hear from you again, James. Stay with us just for as long as you can. Let me acknowledge Alexander's super chat, and then I'll go on to Charles. So Alexander's super chat, he says, in my opinion, if a southwestern politician becomes the next president of Nigeria, the most qualified person is Fashola, proven track record amongst others. So Fashola then being the candidate of Alexander, who supercharts. His candidate, of course, is Okorocha, but he's saying if he goes to the southwest, then Fashola might well do an excellent job. So thank you for the super chat, Alexander, as we go to Charles. Charles, good to see you. Are you with us, Charles?
I want to say what James was saying. Like James was saying, people were killed. That shows, people understand, most of the tribe were forced to be in Nigeria. The Igbos were forced to be in Nigeria. They don't want to be in Nigeria. They were forced by killing. They were forced to be in Nigeria. And the Benny people too. That's why, that's what families do not work. I think families do not work. Nigeria is split. Nigeria goes a separate way. It's not going to work. I just try hard. Nigeria not going to work. Nigeria must split. That's the truth. Nigeria must hear the truth.
Do you know that half of the United States once upon a time belonged to people that you now call Mexicans? Yeah. So a lot of countries were artificially constructed. So I don't know. You know, it's left to us to.
Might be the Igbo were forced to be in this country.
The Igbos were forced.
Yes, it was.
Who told you that?
You're laughing. It's not.
Do you know that Jaja of Opobo signed to be part of Nigeria as the Shehu of Borno, the Alaafin of Oyo? Huh?
He never signed.
I know. I have a video. No. I have a video. I did.
One man, don't lie. You're not the truth.
The Shehu of Borno,
One man, see, you're not. Igbo forced to be Nigeria. It's the truth.
No, the Igbos are willing participants. The Igbos are willing participants in Nigeria. And the Igbos are proud Nigerians too. And you, Charles, you should be a
the Igbos are pretending to be proud, but in their heart,
they
don't
are
be Nigerian.
pretending. How do you know
Yeah.
that? How do you know that,
You've been
Charles?
killed. Nigeria killed them. 1 million people have been killed in Nigeria.
Who told you that?
Killed my innocent people have been killed.
Who told you that? Where are you getting those figures from,
The
Charles?
Igbos have been killed in the Biafran war. The war. Don't say that the war. One day one day come happen to Nigeria for that. They will see. Because Nigeria, why you kill innocent people who don't want to be in the country of force? The British forced Igbos to be in Nigeria. The Igbos don't want to be in Nigeria. The British forced all the tribes to be in Nigeria. They don't want to be in Nigeria. They forced them. But the constitution, they forced them to be in Nigeria.
All right, but that happened in Ghana too.
Yeah, but at least different. Ghana is developed, but Nigeria, Ghana don't have a lot of tribes like Nigeria does. So that's
and
why.
that happened in the United States and in Canada.
But still, I think Nigeria should go a separate way. No point of being Nigeria. No point of president. No point of country. Nigeria should be no point of that. People keep saying that, or just go. People keep saying are lying. They're lying to themselves. They know the truth. Nigeria cannot be a country. They know the truth.
But Nigeria is. Yeah, go on, James.
If we create certain part of Nigeria as a republic, even if we have differences, the chances for we to sit down, be it Igbo, Yoruba, Edo, and even if we sort ourselves, the chances for to come out with something reasonable and fix this problem once and for all. The problem is that is this amalgamation, because the people they amalgamated us with, when we reason and the way they reason differ, it's just two opposite lines that can never meet. Why are we deceiving ourselves?
Yes, I agree. I sort of agree with Charles as well, but I like to pull his legs because Charles, you know, I just like to have.
What's the point of being Nigeria? What's the point of being Nigeria when there's no electricity?
But Charles, if we're not Nigerians, then you and I would not be friends. Would that not be a sad thing? Because I like being your friend.
Yeah, we're Nigerians by force. We're forced to be Nigerians.
Oh right. So you're just tolerating me then.
Why should we want Nigeria? People being killed, people dying of hunger, people dying, no good wars, water dying. What's the point of being one Nigeria? What's the point? They're all lying to ourselves.
All right.
But hear the truth.
So you want Biafra nation?
Don't you want to get on nation? You're able to get on.
What do you want? What do you want, Charles? Do you want Biafra nation or Igbo nation? Do you want? Hold on, Charles. Charles, can you hold on?
Yeah.
Do you want Biafra nation or can you hold on, Charles? Do you want Biafra nation or Igbo nation?
Biafra should come. It shall come soon. Untitled Nigeria.
All right.
Failed state.
Thank you, Charles. Now, just for reasons of time, Charles, let me move on to Ovie to take his comments and then we'll start to round off. So, Ovie to the talking points, the remittance, we are getting the figures coming out now, and Nigerians lacking in skills, according to an international report. Tinubu and Yaya Bello going back and forth, and the Igbo sense of entitlement. So, Ovie, your thoughts?
It's a lot. Where do I start from?
Whichever one picks your fancy.
Everything are politics. So let's go to Tinubu and the young chap side. I don't know. I mean, this. If I'm in issue, I'll do the same thing. As at this point, you have to look at every way possible and capitalize on it. Take advantage of the noise that will come out from there. So, and that's exactly what the young man is doing. They are not in the same league, so there's no way they can politically. There will be. they are not even father and son, so there will be. They are not on the same level. But again, it's politics, so I understand. The guy has to push his luck as long as he can. You know. If it's left for the two of them on the opposite tickets, for sure, Tinubu will smoke him. Hands down, there's no comparison anyway.
How seriously are you taking this Yaya Bello thing? Because it started as a joke, but it seems to be taking it seriously. I mean, is it not just some clown, you know?
I will if he's serious about it and he's ready to go all the way based on the people that are supporting him, he's gonna be finished third. I believe that. I don't think at this point he can stand any one-on-one on the ticket. He's not going to get a ticket in the first place. One of those big parties. So even if it add-on, so yes, but he's doing what somebody should do anyway. If I didn't show,
he's building his political profile essentially.
Yeah, okay. He's giving him better leverage. Yeah.
But then all that one will be futile, of course, if the Easterners have their way. OHANAEZE now with a begging letter yet again. It is our turn. Turn by turn, Nigeria Limited. This is what Issa Fantua Isaf and Dua. Yeah. Say it's not
I
done by
think,
Turn Nigeria Limited. Eh?
again, I don't know, you have to give it to the full animal political IQ. It's up there, it's top notch. I don't know how you guys keep disagreeing with these people. They play literally to the gallery to what those men set out to do. But I understand. But I believe people who, with wealth of exposures and education, there's a better way to approach the encroach of the Fulanis, because that's just a trap. Let me go by force how they react and I'll use it against them. And I think they succeeded. There's a better way to do that. Being the OHANAEZE as a body, their political experience, the word of their everything. I mean, so they play into the game. I don't know because it's a very tall, because the consensus,
Well,
it
what
has
do
to
you
be a
think the chances?
consensus within all the regions. It's not
Yes.
there.
Do you think that consensus will? I mean, do you even think they should be saying this sort of things at all?
No, with
Because
the way,
it brings them to ridicule a little bit. When a lot
if
of people are politicking hard, Tinubu is pasting poster all over the north. Oshibanjo is jostling with Aganduje to form an alliance. Yaya Bello is fighting Tinubu to bring his name into prominence, and you are saying it is your turn.
it
It is your turn. What will get out of here?
Yeah,
What are they talking about?
all this thing is just to keep the masses busy.
Hmm.
Within themselves, they know where it's going. I mean, I don't see their chances for one obvious reason. The Yorubas are not they are not even hiding it. They are shooting it for it straight with everything they can. So I don't
Yes.
see how they'll beat that. I don't see how they have to. So yeah, it's a tall order for them at this point, because I don't think they're even ready to kiss the Aboki man ass. Because that's the
Well,
only way.
there
That's the
you are.
only way. So, and they are not ready to do it. And I don't think the Aboki man is even ready to extend his hands for them to kiss. So
But this is
it's a
what I'm
very
saying. This is what I'm saying, that we by now we should be seeing top Igbo players, the ones that stand a chance. We should be seeing them in Sokoto saying to the Sultan the long history of the Igbos and the Sultanate. We should be seeing them
the
in
the
the Emir of
the
Kano speaking to the
the
history of their people, their trade, speaking to Alaafin saying, we've always been brothers. We should be seeing
I
them in space playing politics, not saying it is our
I
turn.
I don't. First of all, I don't think the Onaeze believe themselves that they can pull it off. Like, let me push my luck solely on my own to see where I will get there, and I will not ask for help. They are not doing that. That's what the Yorubas are doing in terms of Tinubu. Tinubu is going all the way. Last, he go see beg, go say I beg. But at least he has done all the way. So we have not seen that person within that space. Politically, there we have people who have been the pillar, who have been the part and parcel of the struggle of this democracy from the one. We have them, on Gonaya, Ono, and another. Then the latest Obi. I don't even know why everybody shout Obi. Obi no beat anybody for that country to be free.
I know it doesn't have the
No, it doesn't
no,
have it.
it doesn't have it.
I cringe when people they talk say he perform for Abba. If the Biafra nation we actually maybe success and achieve greatness, Abba, the effect should be seen in that location, that Abba region. It should be the Silicon Valley of that region or the whatever. But there's no deliberate attempt to say, okay, we want to make sure, did make this particular place compete with Lagos or Kano. Can't even compete with Kano. So I don't know. It's a tough. Obi is not everybody know that blah blah blah. But when it comes to the real deal, he can't
Well,
beat anybody.
I've never
I'm
really
sorry.
seen him as a
Yeah.
president. Even I thought it was a
What is his
mistake.
name?
Oh,
What
hold
is his
on.
name? Charles. Charles is even more rigorous and more regiment than for ground for in
Soludo,
that
you
level.
mean? Charles
No.
Soludo.
Charles Soludo
Which
now Obasanjo picking.
Charles who? Charles who?
Okorocha, sorry, Rochas
Oh,
Okorocha.
Orochas. Okay, yeah.
He's a more dogged person to go into that
In,
fight than any
in,
other person in that region.
Yes, in
Right now.
fact, I thought it was a mistake of on behalf, not necessarily picking an Igbo man, but picking Peter Obi, Atiku. I think he may well have gotten it wrong there. But hold on, let me just take your quick because I do want to round up fairly quickly. So let me just take your thoughts then on the diaspora remittances and link that with the skills shortage that they're identifying amongst young Nigerians. So your thoughts on those, just interlink them together over here.
Well, I mean, I'm not surprised about remittance. Just like James was saying, more billions or more that are not in the data in statistics as they put it. So I'm not surprised. There's more to it. And again, that's to I mean, is it like Mohammed that is saying that there are shortages of we cannot survive outside the shores of Nigeria? I mean, I understand. He has to take a position for his bosses and all that, but that alone should tell you if we are remitting that much, that much to the nation. That will tell you how resourceful, how intelligent, whatever you want to time those we are outside the country. Because if we know they produce, if we are not resourceful, if we are not qualified, if we are not competent, we're not going to send that kind of amount to back to our country. Because nobody say that they give up. We are not living on welfare in a year to say we they send that welfare money go back to Nigeria. And those are people who attain any field you can think of, they're Nigeria doing. So that thing when he talk, I understand where he's coming from. He's a politician. He has to find a way to dilute that the good news that is coming from the diaspora. Because if you look, there's a focus on the diaspora lately. How we go take votes, how our influence and all that kind of stuff. So I understand where he stands, but he did that himself. All the men where they rule us now, especially from our own south down they came here, conquered, and go back. They become a misbehave. So if you won't come into that premise, say, oh yes, so our leaders they come school for here, they don't feel perform. I totally agree with him on that. But don't mess with the ordinary Nigerians. They are talking the feed you put there.
All right, thank you, V. I'll start rounding off now, and it's a literal 1 minute because I did want to keep this an hour, no more than an hour and a half, and we're coming up to 3 hours now. So a literal 1 minute, and we start off with UK if we still have him. UK, do we still have you?
I'm here.
Oh, okay, good. So just in 1 minute or so, just a round of like parting remarks.
Well, I mean, from everything we have said now, everything is correct. Both the one we disagree or we didn't agree, So the country is really in a very big mess, But sometimes I won't even blame. I'll blame it on everybody because all of us contribute to, I mean, in one way or the other, all of us contribute to the problem because.
See, there's hope in Nigeria. With that statement alone, there's hope. We are going.
Yeah, so all of
amount of money, we are still the one contribute.
No.
We remit huge amount of money.
It's not even about money issue. It's not even about money issue. I mean, the thing is that the problem, all of us follow join. I know, but some people will say, I'm not saying the truth. But if you look at it, it is truth because in Nigeria, there's no family. Even like your brother will commit something, you say no. My brother will not face the music because it's your brother. Nobody will come out rightly say no. This thing, the person must, anything you commit, you must go jail for it. But rather, we'll pay bribe and find one way or the other to bring the person out. So that's the problem, So even our leaders, even we citizens, we are the problem. So we should find a way to start changing our I mean, charity begins at home, So that's what I would say.
All right, thank you, UK. Always a delight hearing from you. So all put join. That is essentially what UK is telling us. All put join. So James, just that literal 1 minute as well. Your remarks, James. Just a literal 1 minute.
Yeah. So what I want to say is this: is that we need to really. We have come to a critical situation, a position where we have to admit that Nigeria is not working, and we should advocate for true federalism, because true federalism will save a lot of lives. It will prevent us. It will prevent the country from not descending into a very deadly crisis, which is already looming. People are not happy. The youth are not happy. People are becoming so frustrated on a daily basis because nothing is working. Imagine a country where medical doctors can no longer feed their children and they want to run away. So what do you now expect from the common man in the country? So we are in a serious situation and we need to start doing things in a different way. And we in the southern part of Nigeria, it is our time we have to look for a mechanism to unite together and discuss our interest and try to look for a way to forge ahead. After all, the British forced us into southern Nigeria first. So we can still work on that and move forward. I think that will help the whole situation.
All right, thank you, James. It's a delight hearing from you again, James. We've not heard from James for a while, but he joins us again. Thank you, James. So just still with that literal 1 minute, over your thoughts.
Well, there's hope in Nigeria. We are in a better standing to be great than ever before. America, as we know it today, have amended their constitution for over 26 times. This is a constitution that is being put together by what? Few men, 60 men, how many of them? Slave owners. We don't regard human being as anything. They sit down, put this constitution together. But along the line, they find a way to keep amending it. It's not perfect. They are even up to today. That the last election has a lot to do with the constitution. Biden being elected as a president has a lot to do with the constitution. So it's a journey. It's a journey. The better for us to just look at it head on straight and face it on. We have to be patriotic now. The problem we have is being manufactured, produced, engineered by us, we Nigerians, our leaders, our parents, our father, brothers, sisters, and mother, whatever. So, however, we should keep. If we like, we just keep running away, just like the other pastor said. We should have plan B. Fine. At the end of the day, we will still come back. The world is moving towards individualism, not even a nationhood these days. So we will still come back last. We are the problem. We are the solution. However, so anytime we make statement, we should keep including ourselves. Maybe say they. When it's bad, we say they. When it's good, we say we Nigerians. No, now we.
All right. Thank you, Ovie.
Yeah.
Always a delight. Controversial as ever, Ovie, Omo Agege, but not Omo Agege, Ovie, Omo Agbaje. So, Ajale Koko, thank you. Just that literal 1 minute as well. Round it off for us. Ajale Koko, ladies and gentlemen.
I would like to use this opportunity to thank the people, to congratulate the people of Ichekiri for appointing or maybe anointing a new king to take over the rulership of their homeland. However, I will at the text what the king did by speaking in English language to address his people, and for singing in praising and song of praise and Christian song of praise. I don't know what he was trying to achieve by speaking in English to his people, English language to his people, and singing Christian song of praise, because the traditional king, as we know them as the custodian of culture and tradition, should be able to promote the culture and the tradition of the people of Isekiri by speaking Isekiri language and by, doing things to promote the culture and the tradition of Isekiri people. I would like to see him next time speaking in Isekiri language and doing things to promote Isekiri people. Isekiri people have a rich culture and tradition. The same thing Yoruba people have the rich culture and tradition. So all these kings and all the rest of them we have in the southern part of Nigeria, I think our people, we should be able to talk to them and let them do the right thing by promoting our culture and our tradition, and that be better for our future generation, our everybody in our homeland. Thank you, one man. I really appreciate everybody that came to the show this morning. It's been very exciting.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Ajan. So, as ever, Ajan Lekoko round things up for us in its own inimicable, or however that word goes, way. So we give the final word then to Alexander, who super chats at Ajan Lekoko. It says, Ajan Lekoko, he can't speak in Ishekiri. He doesn't speak the language. Shaking my head. So this is the thing now, and a Debota King essentially is what Alexander supercharts. He can't speak in Ishekiri. He doesn't speak the language. Alexander shakes his head in disappointment. So Alexander shakes his head in disappointment, and we sigh heavily in despair at the state of the country that we call Nigeria. So hopefully we get to sunnier times, but don't hold your breath. I'll leave you here. Carry the conversation on within the comment section, but here I say peace.